Hello there. Holy fuck, what happened to my mouse? I'm sorry if my USB connection made a little bit of a oopsie to you. It was really funny, alright? Hello there everyone, happy Friday. God damn, that's a lot of people on Twitch. What the hell happening? Wait. I want to show you something right now. What is happening on Twitch? Look at that. Oh, you cannot see because of my fat ass. Where is my model? Here it is. Look at the number counter behind me here. It shows right now 2 people, kinda real people, and 4 apparently bots. So as you know, because of the entire Twitch thing, Twitch decided to fuck up everybody. Oh, now it's 3 viewers. Oh, hello there, Malachi. Now it's 3 viewers. Oh, my tongue. And apparently 3 real, 4 non-real people. Which is fucking wild. And on my dashboard, I will reload it. On my dashboard, it shows only 1 real viewer. What the hell? For the record, just a reminder. In order to hit affiliate on Twitch, oh now it's 3 viewers, I need to hit 3 average viewers on Twitch every 4 streams. Like 4 streams in a row, average 3 viewers. Which is fucking wild, because that will never happen, to be honest. At my rate of growth, it's will barely happen, because Twitch count a viewer as long as he is active every like 30 seconds on a minute. Like if he will chat, if he will put out a chat once in a while. So yeah, I am fucked. I am very fucked. Anyway, today we are having reaction time. and today, today we have a lot to react to. I have a lot of videos here, and we will start with a classic habitual line crosser. Let me put myself into place. Yeah, that will do. And let's start with habitual line crosser, who released a video literally 16 minutes ago. God damn, good thing I got a little busy on Twitch. By the way, speaking on Twitch, once again, I will distract myself, because when I was just looking into Twitch, somebody, where is it? Somebody gave me a sub to Kai Cenat. Like here, do you see that? Continue sub. It was a notification here. I removed it later, but I filmed it on my phone. You will see it in a video. How that happened? How somebody gave me a sub to Kai Cenat out of all people? I don't even watch the guy. I'm not even following the guy. Like, what the hell? So yeah, to be honest, weird shit happened in the past. So who cares? Alright, let me just adjust some shit. And let's go to the video, finally. By the way, volume, yeah, that will do. And let's fucking go. Deal with the ear pain.
America, how is it that
hello, friends.
My politics right now are an absolute dumpster fire?
Maybe you should not import inbred godfuckers. What about that? Oh, by the way, to HLC, happy 800k subs. Like, damn, the guy is growing like crazy.
Yet, I can keep my government open, and you can't. You know, at this point, we should just make it a fucking holiday. Like, it's the annual shutdown. Everyone take a couple days off. On the
Why
plus
not?
side, now that the government is shut down, probably won't be hearing from some of my characters in this episode. And that's really wrong. I'm racist pro bono.
But he was not talking about you. He was talking about DC. And probably most of the states. That are not that are not Florida or Texas. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Great. Now him and the others get to be unhinged, and I don't have the money to stop them. I know this is a bit the pot calling the kettle black, but how is it you're in crippling debt and you can still just not pay your debt?
Think about it. What do what do the US spends all of their money on so you can't just go and take the debt from so you can't make them repay them their debt? What do they have? Oh, right. The most powerful military... My tongue. The most powerful military on planet Earth. I sounded like a goddamn German for a second. Anyway, point stands.
Well, see, that's the thing, Beans on Toast. I got a plan, and it's foolproof. I take on all this crippling debt, and I use it to build the largest military on Earth. Well, at least most powerful at this point.
Yep.
No one can collect the debt because they're afraid of me. Seriously,
Makes sense.
America, as a friend, can you please figure whatever the fuck you're doing out?
Speaks Beans on Toast. With its Prime Minister queer spineless. Yeah. Yeah, that will be his name.
Buff to the rescue. So basically, what I think we should do is anytime we have a shutdown, Congress should be fined. Like, each of them, $10,000 a day until they unfuck this situation. And it doesn't just get rolled over. You can't put it in the budget. They got to pay for that shit out of their personal fucking paychecks, which, by the way, should be withheld while the shutdown is happening. So now it's coming out of all their fucking lobbyists, and it's coming out all their stock trades and shit like that. Look, if stock trading wasn't a problem in Congress, you wouldn't have web pages that are dedicated to following congressional fucking stock trades, okay? I'm just saying.
I like this idea.
While it's happening, no Americans pay any taxes. No gas tax, no income tax, no fucking nothing. And it does.
Buff for Congress. I'm calling it Buff for Congress alongside Congressman Herrera. Oh, the best duo on planet Earth, I swear to God.
Doesn't get rolled over for like later.
The hell was that? I heard a noise. Whatever.
You gotta catch up on your taxes. No, the government shut the fuck down. You don't get any goddamn money.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's actually very well spoken and bipartisan. I think that every American could get behind that.
I know, right? And then
Buff for Congress, Buff for Congress.
Step 2, the blacks and the Jews.
I'm going to stop you right there. Yep, nope. Part 1, that's it. That's the only part. There's no other part.
Hold up. I am a Jew. I want to hear Buff out. Like, really, what is his plan towards the blacks and the Jews? I am genuinely interested. I hope I will hear that.
The love of God. UK also, I don't like it when you poke fun at mine, so I'm going to be the bigger person here and not poke fun at yours. I heard about the attack at the synagogue. Man.
Oh, yeah, it happened literally today in the morning, or no. Yesterday, Yom Kippur. Yeah, some Islamist fuck named Jihad decided to commit a massacre at a synagogue in Manchester. And Queer Spineless then came out and said, we cannot, I am shocked that it happened right after I recognized the state of Palestine. There are so many fucking words that I want to call this piece of shit. But I rather not to. I would rather be a little calmer today. I will prepare my anger for later today. Shall we continue?
I grow so tired of people killing each other based off of the opinion of their deity.
Didn't you participate in the Crusades?
That was a long time ago. Anyways, America, I'm glad you asked, and I thank you for your condolences. People being murdered, American, English, and anybody in the world, except for terrorists. That's a good thing. Did not expect that.
Me neither,
Damn,
to be
it's
honest.
like the old lady took your balls out of her purse and gave them back to you. Not to interrupt your little pity party, but Israel, did you board the Freedom Flotilla that is headed to Palestine?
First of all, not Freedom Flotilla, Hamas Flotilla. Because nearly most of, like 80% of all those ships, they were owned by a Hamas member through third faces. Third-person companies, whatever you call it. And they were going right into a fucking war zone. Like, there is a reason why this blockade, which is 12 nautical miles, exists from 2007. Guess the fucking reason. First of all, it's a blockade that is protected by Israel, basically. Well, protected, kinda. Well, blocked by Israel. You cannot enter the blockade. Therefore, the Israeli naval ships intercepted the flotilla, and they led them to Ashkelon, if I'm not mistaken. All the ships are alright. They are all in one piece. All the people are in one piece. They are now in the detention prison, and they are going through the process of deportation back to fucking Europe, where they fucking belong.
Yes, it's for their own protection.
Yeah, because simple. If they did, the words get out of my head. If they broke through the blockade, if they managed to enter Gaza, not Palestine, it's Gaza, call it by the fucking name. If they entered Gaza, if they came to Hamas, their idols, their saviors of the Palestinian people, yeah, Hamas would kill all of them. All the over 400, 500 people, Hamas would kill all of them on this fucking spot. Besides that entire flotilla, they were calling it the Freedom Flotilla. They were saying that they are delivering help to the pure Palestinian people. The biggest ship that was in that flotilla didn't even carry enough aid for like 10 Muslim families. And yeah, even though even though one Muslim family is an equivalent of 5 British families on average, it's still not a lot. It's still very little. There would be enough aid for like a week or two for those 10 families. I'm talking about like, I think up to 10 tons, maybe 15, I don't know. And on top of that, all of this aid is fucking expired. So, what's the fucking use of that aid? Yeah, that entire flotilla, everybody knew from the start that this fucking flotilla is nothing but a virtue signaling. For Instagram, for TikTok, just, hey, we are good people, we are going to save innocent Palestinians and kill... and get killed by Hamas, yay! Fucking idiots.
They were still in international waters.
No, they were already very, in the blockade zone, so who the fuck cares?
America, you cannot back this up. Barking up the wrong tree there, Jihad Jimmy. I am the king of just violating international waters. It's kind of something I do pretty regularly. I just park out there and play the proverbial "I'm not touching you" game till they try to touch the boats.
Oh,
then
my
I
God.
lose my cool.
And I'm pretty sure that America is just waiting for some Hamas fuck to take a pop shot at an American boat. And fucking to be honest, I am waiting for that too. Because when that will happen, essentially, And that will be like maybe next week, but next month, or who the fuck knows, as long as this war is going on. At some point, some Hamas member will fuck up this way, and Trump will unleash the Marine Corps on Gaza. And if, for those Hamas supporters who will probably watch the video, if you think the IDF is committing a genocide, you will be for a fucking surprise where the Marine Corps will arrive. I swear to God. That will be insane.
Israel, you're trying to stop eyes from around the world to see the genocide that you are committing in Palestine.
Let's make a list. Where was the last time when you saw a genocide where the one allegedly committing the genocide is dropping a lot of letters around every zone they are about to attack in a day or in a few hours? Have you ever seen a genocide where the one allegedly committing a genocide is delivering food and aid to the ones they are supposed to kill mercilessly? And have you seen a genocide where the one who is allegedly committing a genocide destroyed over 70% of all the buildings in that little zone, which is this zone is the size of 2 Brooklyns, literally 141 cubic miles, with 2 million population, not on the entire like map. And they destroyed 70% of all the buildings in Gaza and continue to destroy even more, and yet less than 5% of the population of the entire Gaza has died in 2 years, allegedly, because the numbers are 70,000. Those 70,000, the numbers, came from the Gaza Ministry of Health. And who controls the Gaza Ministry of Health? Hamas. Hamas controls the Gaza Military of Health. And we all know that Hamas will lie, deceive, gaslight everyone to think that more people died than actually did. Like, this was proven a lot of time in the list that they put out. There was a lot of times where the name of the same person was showing up twice or 3 times. There were names of people who are still alive and still alive to this day. Still alive today, sorry, phrasing. And as in the category of women and children was fucking Yahya Sinwar, the former now leader of Hamas. Yeah. Have you ever seen a genocide where Gaza is over 2 million people, right? Where only 70,000 of, allegedly 70,000 of the 2 million has died. And I don't believe in that number, to be honest. I think it's around 40,000. I will lower it to this point. We still need to see the real numbers once the war ends, but I'm pretty sure it's down to 40,000, and I hope it will be down to 40,000. The less people die, the better for everyone, right? And finally, have you ever seen a genocide where during the 2 years of the alleged genocide, the population number of those who suffered the genocide has gone up? The population of Gaza increased in the last 2 years. Not decreased, increased. More people, more babies showed up. How does that happen? Now, let's be honest, most of them are inbred. Yeah, that's the sad reality. Muslims are known to be inbred as fuck. That's reality, you can do nothing about it. They need to change their traditions for that not to happen ever again. And like last time I checked, somewhere around 44% of the entire population of Gaza are the result of incest, which means they are inbred. Well, not entirely correct. 44% are practicing incest, but still, inbreeding, all of that, first cousin marriage. And that is causing the genetic disorders. And the result of these genetic disorders, this is what all of us has been seeing in the headlines, in the headlines where all the major news outlets were accusing Israel of starvation, of famine, where they were showing up the same like 5 to 7 photos of those 5 or 7 children that had all of them, without exception, all of them had very rare, very severe genetic disorders, and I think all of them were actually deported from Gaza a long time ago by Israel, and they were sent to like a big renowned international hospital. God damn it, my tongue. And some of them were not some of them, all of those babies were sent to international hospitals. Like some of them went to the Soroka hospital that was bombed in the end of the 12-day war. Some of them were sent to hospitals in like Italy, I think, Britain, if I'm not mistaken, France, and I think one of them even was sent to America. So yeah. I lost my train of thought, but yeah. Have you ever seen a genocide where the one committing the genocide is actually doing his best to not kill all of those that are allegedly suffered the genocide? Have you ever seen that happen, ever, in history? Ever since the term genocide was created because of the Holocaust? Have you ever seen that happen? Or before even? Spoiler alert, that never happened before. If you're calling this a genocide, what is really a genocide then? If you're calling this war a genocide? How little value the word has? Think about it.
Oh, I'm trying to protect them from what Hamas will do to them once they get a hold of them. Have you seen the people on the flotilla?
Yeah.
They have hair that is uncovered. There is even rumor that there is a gay one on board.
That's not even a rumor. That's really happened. And there was like one Islamic guy, one Muslim, who has found out that on the boat he was what's the word? Floating on. That on the boat he was before. My tongue. So there was an Arab guy who found out that on the boat that he was floating on was a gay dude, and there was a big scandal because of it. And let's be honest, it is fucking funny.
Do you know what they do to gays? I'll give you a hint. Sir Isaac Newton discovered it.
It's weird. Gonna be a hot take. I kind of back Iran on this one.
What?
Buff? Explain yourself. Do you have any idea how many viewers are gonna fucking lose their shit over this?
I am not losing my shit, but Buff. Oh, you sly son of a bitch! I know what you're about to say. This is the same thought that I had for a long time about this flotilla. I bet he's going to say, Israel, you should have been letting them through. What the fuck are they? What value do they bring to the world anyway? This is what Buff about to say. Maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong, I don't know, but something like that.
No, hear me out. It's not the whole, genocide thing. It's just, that little fucking annoying bitch, what's her name? How dare you? That chick, I think she could really benefit from being a hostage for a little while and realize that the world is not as nice as she wants to think it is.
As much as I would be happy for that to happen, Buff, unfortunately, knowing Hamas, it won't happen. She would be dead on the spot, sadly. I wish she would leave, but I am also realist. That is what's going to happen, sadly. I wish it was different though.
Maybe to make her grow the fuck up.
You are wrong. The freedom fighters there would welcome the flotilla with open arms.
Why the fuck are so-called freedom fighters are holding 48 hostages? After 2 years, after kidnapping 250 hostages, and killed in 1200 before that. Only 48 remained, and only apparently around 20 or 21 of these hostages are alive. Sorry. My belly. I just had a dinner. Only 21 of those hostages are alive. The rest are dead. Hamas is already lost their war. Like, why do you think Trump has pushed his 2021 point plan? Just to tell to Hamas, just give up and you will probably have a state, I don't know, in 100 years. Maybe. I don't know. And even Egypt and Qatar are telling to Hamas, just sign the fucking deal. It is the best chance you have to survive your people. Organization? Not. The terrorist organization is already dead. You can do nothing with it. At least make sure that your remaining members will stay alive and will go to fucking Europe or some third world country. Yeah.
And try and show them any amount of hospitality that they have left.
Open arms turns into loaded AKs real quick when a woman speaks out of turn near, Islamic extremists.
Yep.
I don't know why I'm even trying to talk to you. You are the most immoral military in the world. You cannot keep your country open. And now your president is making memes of other members of your, what they call parliament in US, the government people, into sombrero-wearing Mexicans.
Yeah, I saw those memes. Trump is on his demon time, I swear to God. He's... I love the US government these days. I swear to God, Trump, GD Vance, all that entire office are fucking based as hell. Really. I even put out on Twitter, after GD Vance posted a meme of himself where he is bald and has a fucking beard. And I posted that if I was a US citizen, I would be happy to commit voter fraud so GD Vance could be the next president after Trump. Obviously, it is a joke to make sure the three-letter agencies would know this is a joke. I would not really commit that. This is for humor purposes. Do not take me seriously. We are fucking around here. Anyway, I am having a blast today.
Honestly, it's absolutely hilarious. It's like watching a dumpster fire, except it's full of like fireworks. You know, it's terrible to see, but at the same time, ooh.
La cucaracha, la cucaracha. The country shut down and fucked. I think I got it.
Ha! America, you've been caught.
What?
You say you're not giving targeting data to Ukraine, yet...
Slavic Special Ed, you are a fucking idiot. Everybody lies. The US just lies to make sure that you will be happy for once. You know, just giving you some confidence. In reality, you are fucked.
Your White House just said that you are going to be doing it, and you want other NATO nations to do it.
They said we're gonna start. That means we haven't done it previously. It's me.
Yeah. Well, we are officially doing it now, but, you know, just... We have some backdoor businesses all of the time.
Means that Ukraine's kind of been doing their own thing, alone and unafraid. If I just happen to have ISR assets in the area and say, hey, look at that large number of Russians, I bet the Ukrainians would love this information. I can now give it to them.
Huh.
I thought Putin was a nice guy.
How the fuck are you still active? Weren't you supposed to go into hibernation?
It was wrong. It's all the Dems' fault. It's all everybody's fault. God damn, both sides of the aisle need to come together and unfuck this. Our ship is sinking, and instead of grabbing buckets and trying to help out, you're blaming each other. I see more boats built up off of the coast of Venezuela, and I want you to know, America, that we are trying to get
Our military spun up and we will be ready for anything you send our way.
Venezuela, I dare you to fucking try. You do not want to create a nationwide Hiroshima. You don't want that to happen. Do not do it, please.
Tell me you're not considering invading Venezuela. I can't back you on that. Look,
You don't have
Maduro's compromised. He's cartel. It has nothing to do with the fact that they have a huge oil stockpile. But
to. Oh.
sometimes these guys need to be dealt with. And I'm not saying I'm going to, but not saying I haven't considered that option. Okay. And Russia, you want to help me potentially defend Venezuela? And I will work with you?
Slavic Special Ed cannot even defend himself. How he will defend Venezuela? Subfit Sniffer Shadow! God damn it, man. What's up?
My, how the tables have turned. America's been on the European and Asian continents for so long. Maybe it's time that I move into the Americas. Nerd, you still hanging out down there? Sure thing, boss. But if I may make a suggestion, maybe let the kid come play.
Yes.
I feel like if we get into another large conflict and he's not allowed to, stretch his war wings, it could be devastating. I can check if the gun's loaded.
Are you watching your native home or what? What do you mean by that, Shadow? Like, if I'm watching YouTube, yes, I'm doing reaction here. Otherwise, I don't know. I don't have an idea.
By mouthfeel. Please tell me you see what I'm talking about. Fair enough. I do have to kind of explain here. There is no notification or information that the F-22s are being sent down near Venezuela.
You're watching Russian stuff. No. I'm watching American stuff. Like geopolitical news or some shit. Like, Russia is calling Russia is called here Slavic Special Ed for a reason. Because they are fucking retarded.
Although it would not be a hard thing to ask, because getting them there is maybe a couple hours. But this joke is really good, so I'm just gonna run it.
Also, my native home is technically Israel. I was born in Israel here, not in Russia. So, well, on the other hand, like Israel here, there was part of Israel here. So, technically, you're right. You are fake Russian. Kinda.
Kid, perk up. You might get a chance to go play in Venezuela.
Oh yeah.
What am I going up against? Su-57s? MiG-31s?
They have F-16s and maybe like a MiG-29 or maybe Su-27s, but no, nothing more than that.
How about J-10s, J-20s? If they break out that J-35 with all West Taiwan. I got a good feeling. No, it just looks like some very, very outdated aircraft.
F-16 variants A and B, if I'm not mistaken. Right.
But hey, might be fun. Like, I know beggars can't be choosers, and I'm really thankful for the opportunity, but...
You don't drink vodka, you drink white wine, fake Russian. To be honest, I don't drink that either. Right now I'm on a pure water binge lately because soda made me feel ill for some reason at this point. Like, until recently I was drinking soda like it was water on a daily basis. Now I'm replacing that with water. What the fuck? Yeah. Stay hydrated.
Let's hope the Slavic Special Ed gets involved, because right now, sending me down to deal with Venezuela's Air Force it's like getting into a boxing match with Stevie Wonder. Like, yeah, I can crush him, but do I really feel good about it? Fair point. Russia, also, just a weird thing here. I'm not really too worried, considering that, well, let's just face facts. Your navy is crumbling. You're not going to be
Yeah.
able to get there through my navy. That's for
You are super unhealthy. Yeah, kinda.
damn fucking sure.
Still alive though. So does water, that's crazy. Yeah, I was crazy for like 2 months. or even the entire fucking summer. Yeah, I'm fixing that stuff.
Your aircraft, you don't have enough heavy lifters to really cover that amount of distance and fuelers to
Still
really
alive
get 'em
somehow. Yeah. Yep.
there. And let's not forget that logistically, you're not the most sound military in the world. Your tanks ran out of fuel 200 miles over the border of Ukraine. Venezuela is over 6,000 miles away from you. I mean, you do you, boo-boo.
God, I hope they
Damn.
send aircraft. I'm gonna turn every part of the fucking ocean into the Bermuda Triangle. They're gonna be
Ooh.
flying on their merry way and just disappear off a radar. No one's gonna know what's wrong. And then
Oh
we'll
yeah,
keep the
I
secret
like that. I
till
like that.
somebody like us on their deathbed, and they're like, "Yeah, we used F-22s and just eliminated like all of Russia's air power they were sending to Venezuela."
By that time, the kid will be retired, and I'll be on my ABZY upgrade or some shit by that time.
Ooh.
Oh, it's all good times out there. Hey, America, dear
Canada.
bud,
Motherfucker is still alive to see Scar be released in WoW, lol. That and I'm waiting for Duel Night Abyss. Like, I'm waiting for this game very, very patiently. I am not sure if you can hear my slippers, but I'm waiting for that.
what are the chances that I could maybe get like 20 or so of those HIMARS from you?
Ooh! Canada?
What for? Never knew you to be stingy about who you sell your guns to, but
Nah, you're waiting for bikini stick skin for Carti. Flordy, to be exact, but yes, I do.
I'd say that maybe they work pretty good on the battlefield over there in Ukraine there, bud. And maybe it'd be a good idea if I just had a couple, just in case we needed them there, though. No, I mean, you're an ally, so that makes sense.
But Canada having some new ammunition, some new weapons. Oh, the Geneva suggestion list about to get a little bit bigger.
Plus, I've been lecturing you about building up your military, so that's a good thing too. And I don't think you can cause that many war crimes with it. I mean, yeah, you can shoot things, but at the end of the day, you know where it came from and where it went to. So, you know, that would have to be kind of deliberate, don't you think? Oh, no, dear.
By the way, you still owe me a horror gameplay. Fuck. Give me a second. I need to look up. Do I have a horror game on Steam right now? The Long Dark doesn't really count. Monster Hunter Rise. No, it's like an action game. Octopath, Payday. Repo. I don't know. What else do I have? Let's see. Batman Arkham series. Binding of Isaac. Atomic Heart. Deceit. As if somebody's still playing that game. DMC series, Devil May Cry. We still have a lot of Terror Minecraft modpacks. Fuck. Skyrim. First Descended. No. Far Cry 3. No, that game has a sex scene. It is not stream friendly. Hades. Grid Series. Helldivers. Hogwarts Legacy. Horizon. Bladed. Yeah, I will need to find a proper horror game. Fuck, what it will be? I have no idea. Whatever.
But yeah, we would not point those anywhere they're not supposed to go.
Oh
But I
yeah.
also wouldn't recommend underestimating the Canadian military when it comes to being creative on the battlefield. There were those that underestimated us. We'll never do it again.
Oh yeah, that's the Canada we all love. That's the Canada we all love and fear. Yeah, I have no clue why as an Indian I'm so invested in a guy pretending to be nations and weapons of war. Nice. Oh my god, my tongue is dead. Okay, this video is over. Let's go to the next one, and next one it's fucking current events. Like 18 hours ago, Moist Critical got cancelled on Reddit and TikTok. What the fuck? I just found out Charlie is a fascist. What? Like, what the fuck is this shit? I don't understand it. I don't understand. Like, what the hell? What the fuck, man?
So Charlie Critical had made a few statements addressing the tragedy that
Oh, by the way, video by Hero Hey, and oh, the only fanboy I accept that cannot deny the allegations. Look at this shit. IRL versus VTuber. Tell me that's not a fucking fanboy. Like, what the fuck, man? He cannot deny the fanboy allegations. Damn, I'm a horrible fan. I saw your model and was about to turn you into a hero hey for impersonation, but I checked your bio and it's you. You like fanboys? Not really, but Hero Hey is the only fanboy I do respect. Like, I do recognize him. The others, fuck them. And he still tries to deny the fanboy allegations. I don't know what you're talking about. By the way, the weirdest thing ever. That man is following me. What the fuck? What the hell? That doesn't make sense. Like, why the hell does he follows me? Yo, you saw the fucking feet? Look, I do not look at the feet, alright? Do not start with the feet allegations. I like boobs, not feet. There is something you don't tell us. I do tell you everything. I love boobs. Why are you talking about feet? Because I know what you're about to say. I know what you were about to say. I said nothing. But you were about to say something. That's the difference. I know your intent. I wasn't. I know you were. You're scared? From humiliation. What else do you think?
happened to Charlie Kirk. And multiple times he condemned what happened.
Something hiding? No. What is the only thing that I'm hiding? It's fucking 30 degrees outside and Celsius, and my legs are fucking melting.
Happened to Charlie Kirk, which is obviously a very reasonable thing to do. However,
You follow a fanboy that post fit fix. First of all, I follow him because that's Hirohei. I like the guy. Before he activated his VTuber model. Before that. Second of all, he himself doesn't like the fanboy fit pics. But he's forced to see that too. So that's not my fault he's posting that.
to certain odd individuals over on Reddit, TikTok, and even his own subreddit, by the way, well, some found it to be very offensive. So
Hold up, let's restart the video because I lost the fucking flow. Because of you, Shadow!
Charlie Critical had made a few statements addressing the tragedy that happened to Charlie Kirk. And multiple times,
Rest in peace, Charlie Kirk.
he condemned what happened to Charlie Kirk, which is obviously a very reasonable thing to do. However,
Yeah, indeed.
to certain odd individuals over on Reddit, TikTok, and even his own subreddit, by the way, well, some found it to be very offensive. How dare he condemn this?
And then I looked up the UFO stuff, and then Matt texted me if I heard about the Charlie Kirk thing. I had no idea what he was talking about. Immediately, first thing on Twitter is that video clip. It was fucking crazy. That was gruesome. Yeah, it was unbelievable day. Jesus. Fucking awful though, man. Yeah, hopefully they catch the guy.
They did got the guy, but Charlie is saying the most reasonable statement. Like, who the fuck would call him a fascist over that? Like, what the fuck?
I don't know how they're going to, but hopefully they do. Because right now it seems like they're just arresting a bunch of like random old guys. I don't think it was a professional. I think it was just an absolute crazed maniac. But I guess we'll see. Hopefully they catch the person.
I think I already talked about it in one of my reactions to HLC. It was a roughly 200 yards shot, about 180-190 meters roughly. It was made from a sniper rifle, kind of sniper rifle, a Mauser AIM-18, chambered in 30-06. Even a blind person can make a headshot with that. Bro, I got a good clip, I can cook you right now. Shadow, please do not. Why are you doing this? Why? I got I got sad for one fucking. We are talking morbid topics for 1 fucking minute, and you're making me laugh because I know what you're about to do. Wanna see it? Fucking blast away. Blast it. Blast this shit out. Oh, I am fucked. I am fucked tonight. Or whatever it says. Look at my Twitch view count. Look at this. 2 real people, which is me and you, Shadow, and 5 that are not considered real people. Like 5 allegedly so-called bots. Which is in reality, maybe some of them are other real people. But they are not considered real because they are lurking, doing nothing, and not even typing in chat. What the fuck, man? Like, seriously, if there is something aside from me and Shadow, please type something in the chat. I want to see you. I need more views. Well, for that people, I might get this to them. I am scared. I am fucking scared. That doesn't make sense. Like, why? What? Oh. That doesn't make sense. Why? Alright. That was okay. Nothing crazy. See the title. Give me a minute. Oh, I need to fix up my. Apex watching some fanboy feed pics as always. Alright, I got to you now. Almost count. See the title, then the video. Yeah, that does not make any sense, sadly. You almost got me. Almost. That is saved now. I'm a shot at too dark. Shadow! Shadow! God fucking damn it. Fuck. You You're cheating on him. What the What the hell, man? On us! To be fair, Shadow, you were sick the entire week or like almost the entire month, so I didn't want to disturb you, you know?
It's fucking scary. Will you do a video on it?
With a fanboy! Nah! Oh my god. My lungs are empty.
Probably not.
Aren't you playing NFS today? No, today is Friday. Today is reaction day. By the way, what's up, James? Fridays are always reaction days. Monday, Wednesday, it's gaming time. Maybe even Saturday, if I feel like it. Friday is exclusively for reactions. I will curse you with no girls for 40 years. Fuck. Oh my god.
Maybe once they catch the shooter, but in the meantime, probably not. That's just some heartbreaking shit. Usually the news stuff I cover is wackier. This one is just actually diabolical.
Well, after they caught
Yep.
Tyler Robinson, he ended up making that video.
So
Oh.
let me be crystal clear here. I think the assassination of Charlie Kirk, everything that happened here is fucking horrible. I think it is horrific.
Fully agree.
Awful. I think it is terrible.
Yes.
And I'm aware that some people have been celebrating this. I find that to be disgusting. What happened here is bad.
Fully agree, because why the fuck would you celebrate death of an innocent man, of a father? Fucking, if let me remind you, when George Floyd died of an fentanyl overdose, I think that was fentanyl or fucking meth, or whatever it was, everybody, just the entire America was on fucking fire. Motherfucker got full boxed 200 bump shot. What now? Shadow, you lost me. Shut, you lost me for a minute. I don't get it. Anyway, when George Floyd died because of a fentanyl overdose, but people did not even care to look into it. Kirk? A very mid to next to very bad joke, to be honest. Not a very good taste, Shadow. Not really good. Full boxed 200 pump shot. I don't get it, and the joke about Charlie's death is not really good. I don't care. Alright. But celebrating his death, Charlie's death, is next level disgusted. Bro, it's a Fortnite joke. Shadow, I almost never played Fortnite. I played it once for like a month or two, then abandoned it back in 2017. You think I would know a fucking Fortnite joke? Really? I hate that game. To care about it. You don't need to play to know jokes from a game. Sometimes you do. I never even almost never watched any Fortnite stuff. Like the only time I did watch Fortnite stuff, it was fucking the Russian Badger, and he made only one video, and that pump shotgun joke wasn't even there. By the way, the weapon was not even a pump shotgun; it was a Mauser, a sniper rifle, and a very old sniper rifle. So yeah, that jokes does not cut in. When I was with my thoughts, George Floyd, right? When he died of a fentanyl overdose, people were seeing only the picture when a cop was was laying his leg on George's back. They did not care to see that George actually get into the car, and he was saying his vote, "I can't breathe," when he was already sitting in the car. And when he died, the entire America was on fucking fire. I know shotgun can't reach from there, duh. Well, yeah. Whatever, we lost each other, I guess.
Bad. Even though I didn't agree with him from all of the things I have seen, it still doesn't change the way I feel about this being a horrifying, terrible thing that happened to him.
As
Yep.
mentioned, some people on TikTok didn't like Charlie condemning what happened to Charlie Kirk, saying things like, "Dang, L take from Charlie."
Of course, the famous YouTuber would have this garbage take to save face, Racer won't be watching anymore. Didn't he was a white supremacist sympathizer? An L take from Charlie. What the fuck is wrong with these people? Like, the first comment, Most Critical has the same opinion as 90% of the internet. Who could have guessed it? Yeah, really, who could have fucking guessed it? Definitely not those two.
Of course, the famous YouTuber would have this garbage take to save face. Guess I won't be watching him anymore. Didn't think he was a white supremacist sympathizer. Oh
What the
wow,
hell?
L take from Charlie. Yet he didn't
I'm not celebrating, but I'm definitely not mourning. You don't have to. Just acknowledge that shit happened, and continue. Yet he didn't show any compassion and didn't even say a word for Palestine. Interesting. Charlie is a Florida man. Why would he care about a shithole in the Middle East? On the other side of the world. Why the fuck he would care about some inbred sandal people? Like, seriously. They just have to bring some shit in to look superior morally. Fucking morons.
show any compassion and didn't even say a word for Palestine. Interesting. And then you can see some duality there at the end.
Killing someone for a different opinion is big fascism. Fact. To be honest, what's about Palestine? Let me start from the fact that we are all pronouncing it wrong. The proper pronunciation of it is either Palestine from the word or Fakistan or fucking Fascistine. Three variations of the same thing. That's first. Second of all, Palestine, as I mentioned earlier, is a completely fake nationality. It started all of that because of the Roman Empire. Somehow, I don't know how. Do you want me to get a very short cut of history how Palestine came to be? The entire Palestinian movement, all of that. Because I don't think I want to, because that will be a fucking mess for me. Yup. So, you do. Alright, so the Roman Empire. Where the Roman Empire conquered the Kingdom of Israel, which included the Sinai Peninsula, Judea and Samaria, which you know as the West Bank, by the way. The Negev Desert, all of that territory, and even a little bit of the region where is... what it's called? Jordan. Yeah, even the entirety of Jordan. Those territories today. They conquered the territory, they were occupying the Jews, and they were telling to Jews, listen, we can let you leave only if you will accept our demands on you, if you will pay for us, like pay for your lives, basically, a tax fucking, and if you will accept our religions of multiple fucking deities. Of the Jews, believe it or not, the Jews are fucking stubborn. We are a bunch of stubborn bitches, and we said, no, we will not do it. And there was a fucking back and forth for like hundreds of years during that time. And at some point, the Jews decided to make an uprising, try an uprising and a rebellion. The Romans did not like that. They slaughtered a lot of Jews, and and after that, they just expelled nearly all the Jews that were in the territory, and just threw them away in some fucking random territories that the Romans had in Europe. That's how the Jewish diaspora was created. And in order to erase Jewish history from the territory, the Romans destroyed a lot of sacred Jewish buildings, statues, sites, all of it. One of them being the Temple Mount, obviously, the one that is in Jerusalem, that the Muslims later built a fucking golden dome over it. Ugly shit. And after that, Romans, in order to completely erase the Jewish history from Israel, they renamed the territory into something that called Palestine. They looked into a little bit of history because they wanted to see. They were thinking like, let's look up a tribe that hated the Jews like we do, and called the territory after that tribe. And they found a tribe that called the Philistines. In Hebrew, they are called the Plishtim. In English, the word Plishtim literally means invaders, because these tribes were invading every fucking place they could. And so they found, Philistines now, nice. Let's call this region after them. Play with the words, with the letters. Philistines, Palestine, Palestina, Palestine. That's how the name was created, at least in my theory. It's my headcanon now. And that happened, I think, in something like the 3rd century of our era, after Christ. Like, I'm not even bringing up Jesus into that, because Jesus was a major point in all of this story. Jesus died in 70 AD. He was killed by the Romans, by the way, not the Jews. Important point. And so the Romans threw away the Jews. The Jews had no place to live in, and when the Roman Empire fell down, it collapsed. The Jews were just scattered away in different regions, and none of the countries that showed up after the Roman Empire liked the Jews. At the time, Christianity already showed up. Christianity was created from the Jews, by the way. Funny point. And the Christians and the Jews, at first, they were like buddies, but because of differences in principles, Christians wanted to be more like open. They wanted more people in the religions. Jews wanted to stay themselves, so basically. They were still stubborn about it. Apparently, stubbornness is the one thing that is common in all the Jews. And differences grew, principles grew, and the two started to hate each other. But since there were more Christians overall, and Jews were so little. By the way, Christianity started even during the time of the Roman Empire, like before it even collapsed. So, when the European countries started to show up, they all hated the Jews equally. Imagine when you live in a house for a very long time, then somebody shows up in your house and just saying, "Hey, I got kicked out of my house. All of my people got kicked out of my house, and now I have nowhere to go. I was basically sent there. I was sent here. I don't know what I can do." You would not trust the guy. In my opinion, this is how anti-Semitism started as a whole. And then later it became worse and worse and worse, and it ended up in the Holocaust in the 1940s. Holy story, my fuck got a big brain. To be honest, I'm pretty sure that I skipped a lot of chapters. I'm pretty sure there is everything is I'm pretty sure that everything is way more complex than how I explained. It's better for you to look it up yourself. But essentially it is the way it is. And after the Holocaust, after World War II, the British became very weak. And by the way, speaking of the British, and back to Israel, which the territory at the time was called the British Mandate of Palestine or some, no, Syrian Palestina or something like that. So after the Ottoman Empire, after the Ottoman Empire has collapsed in World War One, they at the time controlled the Palestine region. That was known as Palestine at the time, to be exact. And the British took over. And the British were very into the idea of this national movement called Zionism that came up by some Jewish guy from Hungary. Theodor Herzl, right? Yeah, the guy who witnessed a French Jew being executed because he was accused of espionage, but they couldn't find any proof, but they executed him anyway because he was a Jew. And he saw that, the guy saw that everyone around were cheering for that. Yeah, Jew, die. And he realized the Jews are not safe anywhere. The Jews need a country of their own. And so he came up with Zionism. The idea that the Jews can have a state, a country of their own, and they can have the right to protect their own country and protect themselves. Are you alive? Yeah, I am. Hello, Rin. Hello there. And that's the essential idea. And the place of where this state will be was decided from the start in the name Zionism. The name came out from the Mount of Zion, which is a mountain that is, I think, right next to Jerusalem, and they are often associated with each other. So when you say Zionism, you literally mean Zion, you mean Jerusalem. Yeah. And so the place was decided. The Ottoman Empire is dead now. Nice. And we can take over the territory and prepare the territory for the Jews so they could have a state of their own. Back then, everybody was executed without any actual evidence. Someone simply accused you and you simply died of it. Yeah, Salem. Yeah, I know what you mean. Salem is a thing. Did you block me on What in the fuck? What? Okay, I will come to you later. But yeah, first of all, that's a hidden message, and you know what? I will make it a shown message, because that is very fucked up. I guess that is a bot, maybe, I don't know. So back to the business. So British Mandate, they were in the process of preparing Palestine to become a Jewish state. Then World War II happened, Holocaust, all yada 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 yada. And after that, you will come to him, sus. Weird. So after World War II, Holocaust, yada yada. Everybody knows the story. Not a clanker, bro. Yeah, sure. My brain hurts. So after that, the entire war for independence, war for Israeli independence, we call it that way. We were fighting for our country essentially, and our country was the UN finally recognized our country in 1948. Israel was declared, and on the same day, 5 Arab countries decided to attack Israel. 1 year of war and they lose. Simple as that. In the Muslim world of view of the world, it's called the Nakba, because they lose just catastrophically against a brand new nation. And a brand new nation, still no organized militarily, just started being organized. The IDF was just born, and they still beat 5 Muslim nations that all of them, each of them, was bigger than the brand new Jewish state. By the way, did I mention that the Palestinian national movement did not exist at the time? Ah yeah, because at the time, there was no such thing as Palestinians. There were Palestinian citizens though. And who were those Palestinian citizens? Jews and Arabs. When you say Palestinians, you mean Palestinian citizen. It is usually either a Jew or an Arab. What you're doing? A reaction, but that was supposed to be a reaction, but looks like I am trying to explain the lore of Palestine and how the greatest lie that ever made came to be. And the Palestinian national movement did not exist up until 1964. In 1964, an Egyptian named Yasser Arafat came up with an idea. Oh, you know what? I am not an Egyptian. I am a Palestinian. By the way, the guy was born in a fucking Cairo, like the Egyptian capital. I am a Palestinian. I will stand for the Palestinian people who live in Gaza and in the West Bank. Why? Because Shadow asked me to explain the Palestinian law. What the fuck, motherfucker just downgraded. He sure did. And so he created the PLO, the Palestinian Liberation Organization, if I'm not mistaken. And what they did, the moment they created this organization, by the way, I think they did it after 1967, after the 6-Day War, where the same 5 Arab nations, which are Egypt, Jordan, Syria, who else? Alright, Lebanon. I think I'm missing one more. Alright, Saudi Arabia. When all of those 5 nations once again attacked Israel, and they somehow lose again to Israel, but Israel defeated them in 6 days and tripled its territory in 6 days. It took the entire Sinai Peninsula, took the Golan Heights from Syria. They took the West Bank from Jordan, also known as Judea and Samaria, once again. They took the Judea and Samaria from Jordan, and they took Gaza from Egypt. Oh, what an hell. Yes, indeed. Still insane. By the way, just to mention, at the time, once again, there was no mentioning of a Palestinian state. Like, why did nobody created an Arab or a Palestinian state for the Arabs who lived in the West Bank or in the Gaza? At the time, the territories were owned by Jordan and Egypt. Like, By the way, Jordan annexed the territory of Judea and Samaria right after they occupied the territory. That included East Jerusalem in it. Why did they not create a Palestinian state in there? And why did the Egyptians did not create a Palestinian state in Gaza? That's a very good question. You sound submissive. What the hell? Maybe it's because I need to go to the toilet right now. Never mind. Why are right after the 6 Day Wars, the 6 Day War, the entire Palestinian state thing came out. And like Yasser Arafat was like, we want a Palestinian state. But what they did, instead of trying to kind of like diplomatically create a Palestinian state, that's right, they tried to fucking take over Jordan. I'm not even kidding. Black September. Take a break if you want, man. I'm not ready yet. Look up right now, Black September of 1970. The PLO tried to take over the Jordan government, the Jordan kingdom. IRL bathroom reveal. Never mind. They tried to take the Jordanian kingdom through terrorist methods. Literally. They took over an airport, and they even stole an airplane. And let me tell you, the Jordanian king did not like that. And he effectively threw out the Palestinian Liberation Organization, the PLO. And obviously they did not like the Palestinian people. What did the Palestinian people do after that? That's right. They turned Lebanon into a fucking shithole. In the 1980s, Lebanon, before the PLO came to Lebanon, it was a very pleasant place. Some people even called it the Middle, they call it the Switzerland of the Middle East. Yeah, not even joking. But the tensions were kinda high in the entire country because the Christians and the Muslims had a lot of disagreements, and it was a very boiling situation. The PLO showed up, and they fucked up everything. And so the Lebanon fallout happened. The PLO is the literal reason why Lebanon is a shithole today. It's the reason why Hezbollah exists today. One hell of a fucking shithole. By the way, while Yasser Arafat was fucking around in Jordan and Lebanon, now I think 3 Arab nations tried to attack Israel again. Yom Kippur War of 1973. The 3 previously mentioned countries tried to invade Israel again, and they got lucky this time because Israel was very cocky at the time. We believed that we were unbeatable. Well, we were too fucking cocky, and they almost succeeded in this war. But still, Israel not only managed to defend its territories, it's once again defeated its Arab adversaries. We did not expand our territories this time, but even getting them away from our occupied zones, it's already a win. And we defeated those same Arab countries in 26 days. Not even 20 days. By the way, the Arab nations attacked Israel on October 6th. I find it very ironic, you know? Just saying. And after that war, back in 1977 or 1978, Begin and the Prime Minister of Egypt at the time managed to make a peace treaty. Israel gave to the Egyptians the Sinai Peninsula in exchange to peace with the Egyptians. And on that day, the Egyptians officially recognized the Israeli Jewish state. That was a precedent at the time. Right now we have the Abraham Accords that have Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, Egyptian, surely Jordan even, I think. All of them today recognize the Israeli state. But it's today, it was in the 2020 year. In the 1978, it was fucking... nobody believed that this could happen before. That was a new one. Explain this in brain rot term. I do not speak brain rot. I'm sorry. But Palestine, after all of that, Yasser Arafat decided to still fuck around in Gaza now. He was fucking around in Gaza and was giving a headache to Israel as a whole. And we were so fucking tired of it that in 2005, Israel has left Gaza. We distanced ourselves from it and gave the Palestinians a chance to have a state of their own. Hey Apex, what's up, Shell? And the first time they had a democratic elections, they choose Hamas. Think what happened after that. Like, fuck. I will come back. I need to go to the porcelain throne. Okay, I am back. Phew, oh my god, this bubble was very full. Israel is not tough. Look up at the Israel record at winning. Have you ever seen a war that Israel did not win? Just asking. Whew. Is that a fucking chatbot? Yeah, you are going to hell. Message redacted? Nah, nothing. Nice. So, I hope I somehow explained the entire Palestine war. You saw no boat. Jokes on you, Oh, you... You banned him right before I did. Alright, never mind. So, I hope I somehow explained the entire Palestine lore. But, in short, Palestinians in reality are nothing but Jordanians and Egyptians who have an identity crisis. It is the best way I can explain that to you. They are just typical Arabs. Nothing more. Now that we are done with the entire Palestine war, the entire Palestine thing and why I believe it is Fakestine and Fascistine, let's get back to Hero Hayes' video, because I had an entire rant for half a fucking hour. Holy fucking hell.
One user saying killing someone for a different opinion is peak fascism, and the other saying, I'll never have sympathy nor empathy for a fascist. On his own subreddit, there was a post titled, Let me get this straight, reading, in
What the
today's
fuck?
video, Critical claims he cannot opine the type of person Charlie Kirk was, as he does not have enough info on Kirk.
Look, I did not watch Charlie's video about Kirk's incident, but I'm pretty sure Charlie just said, "Look, I do not disagree with the guy, but killing him was not the right thing." I think that's what he said. Holy, the bot account is kinda old. It's from 2021. Kinda weird. Ah, you're talking the bot on Twitch? Maybe, I don't know.
He immediately follows this up by saying he confidently believes
You're
Kirk's
talking
killer.
the bot on Twitch? Sorry, I opened my Twitch channel. I'm just looking at the viewer count. Yeah, that's weird. Maybe he got hacked. That stream bot persona? Maybe, I don't know. See if I care. It happens.
Was left-leaning Kirk. He immediately follows this up by saying he confidently believes Kirk's killer was left-leaning based solely on internet memes.
I am not going to talk about it.
They then go on a weird rant about some like EDP stuff. I'm skipping that part. Charles
Ew.
White Jr. has sold out to the sensationalist, anti-intellectual, Asmongold-esque right-wing grift. And has
Are you
lost me a subscriber
serious?
15 plus years. Either stick to what you know or get good at the grift so you don't look so transparently hypocritical and slimy, Charlie. Another user
What the
saying
fuck?
seeing a fence sitter stay silent during a fascist regime is not fun. And this one, who seems to be upset with
Try to guess on which side of the politics these people are. There is a joke that slowly turns into reality. In politics, you are either far right or you are far right or you are far wrong. Sorry, but that jokes becomes real with every fucking day, and I don't like that.
Charlie referring to the assassin as a leftist, which seems to be referring to this part of his video.
Anyway, as of now, there's been a lot of misinformation flooding around with like different Tyler Robinsons and also like people making claims about whether he's a Democrat or a Republican, which is obviously a big subject here considering the motive being political. Now, with all the available information about what they found as well as like where he's potentially been, to me, it seems like he's more left-leaning than right, but nothing is 100% confirmed, and there's so much information it's hard to know for sure. A lot of people are saying since he grew up in a Republican household, and there's so many photos of him at a young age.
So Charlie said, look, he may be left-leaning, but I am not going to confirm that. Like, more information is needed. And you call him a fascist over that? Fucking sick people.
Around guns, he must be Republican, but that's not always the case. Kids don't always grow up to be just carbon copies, clones of their parents and their beliefs. Like
Destiny is the example. His parents are Republican, but Destiny himself is a brain dead leftist libtard. We all know that. I need to go to make dinner. Bye. Bye, Shadow. See you later. I have a lot of time today.
I guess they're more inclined to follow those beliefs, but it's not always how it works out, and according to people closest to him, he got much more political over the last couple years, so anything could have changed. There's no telling for sure. But this definitely does seem to be a politically motivated assassination, which, if you ask me, is a horrible thing. And my heart breaks for the family that is now without a father.
Now, ultimately, of
Oh, okay. No problem, ma'am. Ma'am. Man. Not ma'am.
course, his full take on this matter was quite a bit longer than the chopped up brief version that I included.
Don't you work? Saturday is my off day. So I am good.
In this video to just show you like some of the highlight areas that people were taking umbrage with, and I'll have both linked in the description because one comes from his channel and the other one comes from Penguin Zero Clips, specifically like the stream highlight from the beginning. Nevertheless, it's absurd for him to get backlash for simply saying that this was a bad thing that happened, more or less, but it's also very expected, as essentially anyone who came out condemning this stuff on the internet was getting backlash from like certain other parts of the internet. The wanton use of the words fascist and Nazi nowadays are also just absurd. You know, it's interesting how buzzwords that got watered down because they were overused progressively went from like racist to homophobe to transphobe, but now it's, oh, everyone's just a Nazi or a fascist. Lastly, I apologize.
You are a Nazi, you are a fascist, you are a mother killer, you are a... Sorry. But yeah, those people are fucking brain dead.
For covering this a bit late. Some of this happened like a few weeks ago, some of it a week ago, referring to like some of the comments we read.
Yeah.
But I found it compelling to still talk about, albeit rather briefly. So let me know what you think about this stuff in the comments, and thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate you, and I'll see you here and in the next one.
Thank you, the only
Comments.
fanboy on this planet that I recognize. Pinguin Zero. Your boobs mean nothing. I've seen what makes you cheer. Full agreeable. Okay, nice. Well, bye. I guess all bots selling stuff and art dudes trying to sell shitty art as well. Thank you, Shadow. Oh my god, my tongue feels sore. Very sore. Okay, after this video into my very unhinged rant, I wish I could make it a little bit shorter, but I rant very badly. Let's go to a little bit more current events. Video by Internet VS, and today we are talking about fucking denims. You know, this one from the terror supporting homicidal Hassan Piker cult, you know. Oh, by the way, she is an OnlyFans slut. She sells nudie pictures on OnlyFans, which means she is the legal definitions of a slut, or to be more correct with her, a whore. Nobody likes her. And I still don't understand how she fucking that popular. Maybe it's because her daddy Hassan giving her some fucking money, but whatever. And we have denims against Osmond Gold, the one and only Roach King, and his simps, Kirsha, and Richie Raki. By the way, Richie Raki, what the hell is she doing here? Like, why is she here? By the way, Kirsha, I hope the guy will show... that clip of denims, but in case he doesn't, I will just go to Ref's video. So yeah, there's a chance we will have a 2-in-1 reaction. Let's go.
A couple days ago, a live streamer at Denims TV, who we've covered a couple times in various ways on this channel, got in a clash with the VTuber community.
Ah yeah, forgot to say that. Denims alerted the Horde. She pissed off the Hornet's race. The Hornet's Nest, which is the VTuber community. And I'm meaning the big VTuber community. I'm talking about Shay, Lily, Kirsha, Iron Mouse. Yeah, she almost called Iron Mouse a guntuber. Sorry, not gun, goon. but realized that it was too fucking close. But yeah, she called all the others GoonTubers. And the gates of fucking hell has opened. Let's watch.
After a clip of her went viral where she responded to a chatter bringing up the lawsuit she's facing against Ethan Klein. In response, she opens the chatter's following and sees that they are following VTubers and Asmongold, calling the chatter a gooner and calling some of the various VTubers Nazis. Immediately, tons of people pointed out the seeming hypocrisy in this, given that Denims herself has an OnlyFans, and she even responded to the situation on her alternate.
By the way, sorry.
Tons of people pointed out the a gooner and calling some of the various VTubers Nazis.
To be exact, I seen it from Rev's video. One of those people she called a Nazi, it's Kirsche. It's Kirsch. Like, calling Kirsche a Nazi is the funniest thing ever if you know who Kirsche is. Like, I watched some of Kirsche's video, not all of them, because I don't have enough time on work and sometimes my ADHD takes over me. But I've seen the Kir Mom Files video. And after that, calling Kirsche a Nazi is the funniest thing ever, because for those who do not know, Kirsche's mother used to be, and I think still is, she is lovely dovey with an actual neocon Nazi, like an absolute neo-Nazi, white supremacist Aryan. Like he even has a fucking tattoo, and he made Kirsche's mom have a fucking tattoo too. And like, this is the funniest shit ever. Kirsche had to deal with an actual Nazi for nearly her entire childhood and maybe even entire life. So, and she knows what a real Nazi is. Neo-Nazi, to be exact. So, Denims calling a Kirsche a Nazi is the funniest shit ever. Like, this is the face of a fucking retard. An actual retard.
Immediately, tons of people pointed out the seeming hypocrisy in this, given that Denims herself has an OnlyFans, and she even responded to the situation on her.
Give me a minute. I think I need to just reload the page.
A couple days ago, a live streamer Denims.
Yeah, it's a little better, but whatever.
Are ruining the VTubing community. Well,
what now?
Claiming that some asocial neat freaks are ruining the VTubing community. Welcome.
Yeah, you sure this isn't you? Oh wait, you're not even a VTuber. Why the fuck are you here?
To the internet versus Denims and VTubers. It starts when a best friend tweets out this clip with the caption, "Denims crashes out on Chatter for following VTubers and Asmongold."
I'm waiting for you to lose the lawsuit. Oh no, that's iDub. What the fuck are you talking about? Oh my god. So sad for you, man. Well, I hope one day, I know you might think your life is over because you're 40 years old and you've never made a single friend in your life, but you know, anyone can turn their life around. Anyone. Oh.
That is the best profile picture I've ever seen. The Null Wisp. I need to find this guy. I need to find this man. Give me a moment. The Null Wisp. Can you react to extend 2 videos after this? I know what you are. You cannot fool me anymore. Fuck you. Anyway, the Null Wisp. Okay. Ah, god damn it. He is not a channel. Fuck. God damn it. I can't find the guy. Shame. But this hack read with a gun PFP. Oh, fucking based.
Oh, sorry, not you. I changed my mind. Listen, I love VTubers, but you know it's a special type of mental derangement when it's someone that follows exclusively VTubers and also Asmongold. This is not a good sign. Followed Asmongold, right? Following Rich Campbell, okay. Then followed Asmongold's other account, Hyperfan. And that wasn't enough, by the way. He's also following Asmongold 24/7. He needs his Asmongold, okay? He needs it. He needs his mold. And then was like, discovered Iron Mouse and was like, well, actually, sorry, discovered, it seems like a couple VTubers before then, actually. He's been on his VTuber grind for forever. Asian Bunny X, Respect, Real, Recognize, Real.
Who the fuck is Asian Bunny? Whatever. Vidal the Tootle, if you dare to disrespect Neuro, Evil, and the Turtle, Denims, you will unleash a fucking monster.
And then was like, you know what, dude? Yeah, it's time to goon, okay? Time to just VTube goon. So true. 3D women suck. None of them ever have loved me in my life, so it's okay. One of these VTubers, they're the only things that can ever love me. Goon time, goon. Oh, and he's following the Nazi gooner.
Kirsche. Colin Kirsche, a Nazi gooner. Like, gooner, maybe, but it's the good kind of goon. But calling her a Nazi. Alright, I already talked about it for a minute.
Bait, obviously. This guy doesn't know when he's
being
being
by the way,
pandered.
Banana Juju! The monkey! The one who got hated by everyone for no fucking reason! The nice girl!
Too. And he's like, goon.
Oh, Tecton! Tecton is here, fucking based.
Wait. Obviously. This guy doesn't know when he's being pandered to. And he's like, goon,
Saying Pimpkin Peepa and Goon in the same fucking sentence? Are you fucking... You uncultured swine. Fucking... Even I am uncultured. I will admit that I do not watch VTubers 24/7. But even I know to differentiate.
goon,
Oh,
goon.
Sense is here. Sense Society. Sorry. Richigaki. Riregaki. What the fuck is that name? Just call yourself Richiraki and it will be alright.
Oh, look.
Donut, what in the mustache is that?
He's following the Nazi rat VTuber too. Goon, goon, goon.
Look, I do not hate Riregaki, whatever. Some of her jokes are very edgy. It's like very, very on the line. Sometime over the line a little bit. Like, it's a very shaky boat. I'm not going to talk about her.
Time to goon. And now he's
calling Chacha a gooner. Are you serious? The mother of all moms of all fucking VTubers. Are you serious?
here. That's so sad for you. That is really tough. That's really tough. A brutal life you lead, man. I hope one day you can find a friend. I don't think it's possible for you. I think it's too late for you, man. I think it's too late. I think it might be too late.
Honestly, Denims is losing the lawsuit, obviously. But at least make a decent image of yourself before your career is over completely. Like, what are we talking about?
And then he's also so stupid, he can't come up with like anything to come back with. Like, he can't even come up with an insult. His insult is just at himself saying, I love my gooning VTubers. Do you frequently try to make fun of other people by making fun of yourself? Has it ever worked? Go outside.
He's not making fun of himself, like... Okay, let's be fair, some fun of yourself, but it's the good kind of making fun of yourself. It's like, it's little shit, but who cares? And Denims is taking everything so seriously with that very serious monotone tone.
God, man, just like, please, please.
Fucking, I did not even take a fucking Monster Energy before the stream, but I feel like I'm on a fucking sugar rush. Yeah, that's the way to pronounce it. Sorry, I am not a native English speaker.
Go outside.
And Kitsu replies, doesn't Denims have an OF?
Kitsu! One of the greatest Fox girls.
/ Fansly. Who is she to judge? Hate this better than thou attitude, man. Nux Taku replies to the clip by saying, Ho's mad she can't compete with 2D women. Hike.
Even the blue Jew is better than a 3D woman, to be honest. Than Denims, to be exact. Even fucking Nux is more fuckable.
King replies with
Sorry.
This picture of a trash bin.
Unsolicited opinions from online prostitutes. Yeah, from an online slut. Oh, by the way, about OnlyFans. Denims is with the entire all pro-Palestine, pro-Fakistan, and the entire BDS list watcher. Yeah. Loyal to the BDS list. Yeah. OnlyFans. Somebody mentioned it on Twitter a few days ago. OnlyFans, the CEO of OnlyFans, I think not only he is first of all sending millions, like 11 millions, to an Israeli lobby in America, and I think on top of that he is also Jewish. Look, the Jews do know how to make money. Like, do not be surprised. If there is a way to make money, the Jews are professional in this. Deal with it.
And with the title, Unsolicited Opinions from Online.
Aside from me, I guess I am an incomplete Jew because I do not know how to make money.
Prostitutes. Gaz says, I love VTubers, but you're deranged if you follow them. Fucking retard. Holy. Vlad replies with this clip in the caption. Alright, I'm gonna post it.
Get with the times. We don't like real women anymore. What you mean these virtual women go online and make money and I have to spend 3 hours putting makeup on? Yep.
Sean the fucking based.
Your days are over. Your womb is drying up. My womb is eternal.
Tectone quote tweets best friend by saying, why is this whore complaining about a dude watching VTubers and calling them all GoonTubers? Tactical Templar replies with this picture in the caption, she's a whore.
Let me read it. Ew, can you believe all these VTubers? Shillelagh, Nazi Gunnerbait, Kirsha, Nazi Gunnerbait, Chacha, Gunnerbait, Ironmans, Gunnerbait, getting sued for corporate infringement, so time it to slot it up, I guess, lol. Wow, imagine this kind of hypocrisy.
On the left here,
unless the VTuber women do not sell their actual bodies, you know? So who is a Gunnerbait and who is... Yeah, you got me.
Attaching the quote from the clip we just watched, and on the right here attaching a post she made with the caption, getting sued for copyright infringement, so time to slut it up, I guess, lol, where she has a screenshot from the Ethan Klein lawsuit, and in one of the
by the way,
screenshots, Adolf Hitler is pictured. Kirsch quote,
yeah, with the person who will later become the king of Jordan in the future. Yeah, imagine that. What the hell is that? It's all good. One hell of a history time, eh?
Tweets the clip by saying, we're reaching levels of retardation previously thought impossible.
Wow.
And Madame Savvy replies, didn't point out to the only retard follow on that list, which is Amaranth. Lena quote tweets the clip by saying, OMG, I've made it, ma. Chibi Reviews quote tweets the post by saying, why is she attacking VTubers and even going as far as to call them all GoonTubers while she has an OnlyFans? And Lightning KF replies, simple, Chibi. Guys would rather listen to a girl behind a pretty anime girl model who actually has a personality and is a sweetheart over obnoxious bitches like her who only get far because of her looks. And Chibi replies, based. Kazahana quotes the clip by saying, constantly uses goon as a derogatory term toward VTubers, avoids using it for all of the IRL OF streamers, has her own OF. I think someone feels threatened by 2D women outdoing her. Legal mindset.
Besides, you can goon at VTubers for free. I regret these words. Sorry.
quotes the clip by saying, Denims is not only going to lose her lawsuit in epic fashion, but just kicked the literal hornet's nest by attacking VTubers as a whole, including many that are wholly undeserving of the slurs she slings at them. VTuber fans are about to launch the Ninth Crusade for their Oshi. This also confirms the theory underlying the real suppression of VTubers on Twitch. It's due to OnlyFans girls like Denims fearing VTubers will steal their pay pigs, without understanding the wild difference between VTuber fans and OnlyFans gooners. And Smug
by the way, VTuber fans, they are very loyal. Like, Vidal's community, Filian's community, who else am I missing? Silver Whale, even Cinder, her community is still very loyalty. Pyropups. Loyalty, you're good puppies. And who am I missing? What community am I missing? Oh, alright. Shay Lily's community. And all of them. Sorry, my Twitch is giving me a notification of Kirsha. Give me a second. Alright, whatever.
Replies, I love the stuttering and bumbling when she read Iron Mouse's name. Cha-Cha quotes the clip by saying, Denim pointed at me and said, time to goon. Sky Assassino quotes the clip by saying, the term crash out has lost all meaning at this point. This is not a crash out. Madam Savvy quotes
this is a degradation.
The clip by saying, it is very funny how Denims does a little jealousy slip here. Very threatened by VTubers as she doesn't point out the ultimate goon follow, Amaranth. Notice it is only gooning derogatory when it is for anime, but Denims, who posts her own sloppy, low-effort body online, doesn't call out the people following her for her embarrassing simp bait. The woman being sued, and who is a giant lolcow, who can't even get help from her rich bestie Hassan, real friend that one, wants to give life advice about gooning
and her ultimate fucking oil daddy
while trying to pander to gooners. Already feeling your prime leaving you? Mad the anime woman will stay youthful forever, never sag, never stretch, always flawless in their physics. They never have to worry about getting fat or looking bad because they're just cute fictional creatures voiced by pleasant sounding people. No bad angles, just good vibes.
Oh,
Your audience would never watch Denims anyway. The little flesh bag isn't a threat to them the way Denims feels threatened by VTubers, and I find that hilarious. Ryugaki the Rat quotes the post by saying, why am I known as the Nazi rat VTuber? What is happening?
Look, Riri, as much I am neutral about you, but some of your tweets are very, very bad on paper. I'll be honest.
And Trigger Point replies, she's a dumb fuck Hasana B orbiter.
Yep,
disregard.
that's
and
true.
Ryugaki the Rat says, who the fuck is Hasana B? Weeaboo Jones says, please never put Denims in my feed ever again. And it shouldn't surprise you. Slander is what she's known for. And Ryugaki says, first time seeing her and she is scary. User Light SS says, Kirsch is the Nazi gooner bait and you're just the Nazi rat. The tards really don't deserve you. And Ryugaki replies, why no Nazi gooner bait rat? Yeet also tweets out some of these interactions we've read on his page with the caption, Denims set off a storm in parts of the VTuber world after her call out of a VTuber fan went viral. And Lane replies, Asmongold has ruined all these people's lives by just existing and minding his own business. And Lydia says, I don't agree with everything Asmon says, but the people who are dead set on hating him are ridiculous. Edward says, Denims logic. Cartoons bad. Terrorists good. Denims herself in response to this on her alt account at Not Denims, saying, make fun of gooners who only follow hot tub streamers and right-wingers. Complete silence. Make fun of gooners who only follow female VTubers and right-wingers. Intense Smalding.
Maybe that is because those hot tub sluts do not have a real audience. I mean, I think that all those hot tub people are followed by literal bots. At least that's what I believe. The VTuber fans, they are very real.
And Yara replies, you attacked their Oshis, so they got a white knight. And Jordan replies to Yara by saying, brother, you're a pedophile who white knights the idea to turn kids into trans people. Fuck right off. And Denim says, silence transphobe. And Jordan replies, so I'm transphobic for not wanting children tortured and just switching genders.
Look, about trans people, if you think that is transphobic, you do not want to hear my take about trans people. Like, I have probably the most insane, inhuman take about the trans people, and you will not like it. Like, seriously, very seriously. For all the YouTube people who will be watching this video later on like Monday or maybe Thursday, would you like to hear my very extreme and very and very not trans friendly take about trans people? Because I can make a script for that, for that one special occasion, if you want to. I will probably be hated by everybody on the planet, by all the brain dead people, to be exact. By the way, about transphobia. Transphobia would imply that I am scared of trans people, that I have irrational fear of trans people for no rational reason. Well, guess what? I am not scared of trans people. I despise trans people for very rational and very real reasons. Many reasons. Remember it.
When they have no idea what this shit is. Yeah, okay, retard. Defend the pedophile. Of course you would, whore. Denims replies to Nyara by saying, the same way that Rick and Morty fans storming McDonald's for the Szechuan sauce ruined Rick and Morty, the asocial neat freaks in the VTube community are actively trying their hardest to ruin VTubers. The only VTubers I attacked are the two right-wingers.
Seriously? Denims, you tried to go against everyone. You tried to go against the OGs of VTubing. That is a very grave mistake.
And Yara replies, I literally have people stalking my—
Oh, not this fuck. Get this pathetic fuck away from me.
Page, constantly posting my tweets to rile people up and harass me because I called out the right-wing VTuber. These freaks literally have nothing else except their Oshi, and they think they need to protect them at all costs.
Go away, you trans freak fuck. Fucking... I did not expect a fucking German to be this fucking brainhead. I guess he follows his great-grandpa's wishes to be as retarded as possible.
And Denims replies, I love you and I will fight the haters for you. Shout out to our tier 3 members, internet representatives, Kiko, Salsao, Dakotas Bandito, and Captain Crash Out. Thank you guys so much for the support. And I'll see you all in the next episode.
Eminem, chill out, Eminem. For fuck's sake. Phew. Alright, that was a fucking word vomit from me and from the guy. I am done with this one. And we can remove these two. Okay, and let's... I don't know what this. Let's go to the next video, which is Australia's secret Chernobyl. And before we start, this sentence alone terrifies me. Australia's Chernobyl. Like, this is the combination of two words that you will never want to hear. This shit is fucking terrifying. Okay, let's watch. Obviously, this is a video about a tragedy. I think I watched only up to like a minute of it because I did not want to spoiler myself. I am really interested to know how the fuck is there a Chernobyl-like place in Australia and how terrifying it is. Let's go.
This is Wittenoom.
A pleasant little city.
It's a place in northwest.
Give me a minute, I need to go and settle myself. 1 second. Okay, I am back. I brought a bottle of water with me. What a pleasant sound. Okay, let's watch.
Western Australia, in the middle of the outback. Once, Wittenoom was the largest city in the region. Today, the houses are empty. On paper, this town no longer exists. The
Seriously?
Australian government has removed it from official maps.
Wow, how
The
dirty.
soil, the bushes, and even
Give me a minute, it's too loud.
the dust in the air are highly carcinogenic. Every breath
They are what now?
can be toxic.
Oh,
Wittenoom is Australia's Chernobyl,
how the fuck that happened?
except that it's not radiation that makes this place so dangerous. What
Of course this isn't. If it was radiation, it would be so much worse. What is it?
happened here?
Answer me, mysterious man. Answer me, mysterious man, because I literally splashed myself with a splash of very cold water straight out of the fridge. Fuck, it's fucking... Oh, it's cold as hell.
Places like Chernobyl and Wittenoom show us how fragile our relationship with our environment can be. It's important to deal with limited resources consciously. Holzkern is the leading FSC certified wood and
Yeah, let's skip the
unique personal piece
advertisement.
from Holzkern. It all starts almost 100 years ago with a mine.
Sheesh. Oh, look at this
In the
boys.
mid-1930s, a small company begins to mine a blue mineral in these two gorges. In
A blue
1943, a
mineral?
larger corporation called CSR takes over the operation. The company wants to increase production. In 1947, with the support of the Western Australian government, CSR establishes a worker settlement 10 kilometers from the mine. Wittenoom is born. It's a typical town with everything you'd expect. A school, a hotel, a hospital, a post office, a bakery. The town grows rapidly.
Nice.
At the time, many people flocked to the northwest of Australia in search of employment. By the 1950s, 20,000 people live in Wittenoom.
Not bad.
The blue mineral in the gorges is in high demand. Within a decade, 161,000 tons are extracted. The mine
What is the blue mineral, by the way? What's the name of it?
is Australia's only supply. The fine-grained tailings of the mine are put in these dumps close by. But the inhabitants are smart. It's a waste if the tailings are just left lying around. They use the residues for constructing roads and buildings or as insulation. The fine blue granules are excellent for mitigating the extreme heat of the outback. The people spread them on the ground, on the sidewalk, around the houses, on the schoolyard.
I do not like these particles. They are saying something. I feel foreshadowing.
And on playgrounds. But there's a problem. This mineral is asbestos.
Hey, what now?
Blue asbestos, the most toxic kind.
I do not like the sound of it immediately.
Asbestos gets into the lung when dust containing microscopic fibers of the mineral is being inhaled. The asbestos particles are sharp, so they damage the pleura. That's the protective tissue of the lung. Prolonged
no.
exposure scars the organ and completely wrecks it. The result
my
is
God.
shortness of breath, a persistent dry cough, and a lot of pain. This is called asbestosis.
Oh my
And
god.
it's clear asbestos causes it since the 1930s. Since then, there have been attempts in various countries to regulate the use of the mineral. Nonetheless, after World War II, it's becoming immensely popular.
Oh
Soon,
my god, no.
asbestos is a staple in construction.
Is that the same thing as the what's the name of it? The ethyl in the USA. This what's the name of it? You got me. this ethyl thing that was basically what's the name of that mineral? I'm sorry, I do not know how it's called in English. Give me a second. Lead. This liquid lead that you would put into your fuel tank after you fill the car with the gas. Yeah, that shit. Is that the same story?
Around the world. After all, it's strong, cheap, insulating, and widely available. The market is booming.
Yeah, it's the same thing with the ethyl and with the entire lead thing back in the 20th century in America. Fuck. Oh my god, it's so bad.
Kent Micronite cigarettes proudly advertise their asbestos filters.
Oh my...
It's a wild time.
What the fuck?
Change to Kent. Change to Kent.
Are you
Lobbying
serious?
organizations across the world will twist the truth about asbestos in the coming decades.
Of course they will do that.
As the science is becoming crystal clear. The concerns of health professionals are largely being ignored. The same rings tragically true in Britain.
Oh, yeah, this is the same story as the ethyl in America. Until there will... Oh no. What would corporation would not do? What? Let me rephrase it. What will What will big corporations want to get some money, even if it will cost a couple million lives? Fucking evil, man.
Eric Saint is a flying doctor. He travels to remote parts of Australia to take care of people. He visits Wittenoom in 1948, 1 year after the town's inception. He worries about it right away. He finds the dust concentration in the mine to be extremely dangerous. He informs the mine management about the extreme risks of asbestos. He also shares his concerns with the head of the public health department in Perth and predicts the greatest crop of asbestosis the world has ever seen.
My god.
When you say the facts were well known, could one have known at the time that exposure to that sort of dust could kill people?
Yes. Unequivocally, the answer would be yes.
Oh my god.
Nevertheless, no one takes action. A few years later, Dr. Jim McNulty also starts to focus on the health of the workers on site.
And my impression of the mine was that, I said at the time, it was the worst I'd ever seen in terms of dust. There was dust everywhere. You got dust in your hair, got it in your teeth when you walked around the mill. You put your hand on a railing, your hand came off black.
McNulty repeatedly informs CSR about the dangers of asbestos. The mine management does not respond.
Attempts to get changes made to dust measurement, and particularly, were blocked by people who had done the same thing for many years.
In 1960, Dr. McNulty diagnoses the first case of a weird, rare cancer in Wittenoom. The patient had worked in the mine for 2 years in the late 1940s. You see, since the asbestos fibers are so fine and sharp, particularly the blue ones, they don't just damage the pleura, they get stuck in it, often forever. No. They irritate the tissue and cause mutations. This leads to mesothelioma, an untreatable form of cancer.
Oh no.
It usually appears with a delay of 20 to 50 years after the asbestos has been inhaled. Within 5 years after McNulty's first mesothelioma patient, more than 100 additional cases appear in workers and former employees of Wittenoom.
That's too much.
At the time, that's more cases than in all other mines in Western Australia combined.
Shit.
Throughout all these years, the town's residents are not informed about the dangers of asbestos. they continued their everyday lives in
me?
Wittenum, completely unaware, surrounded by deadly blue dust.
Oh God, no.
In 1960,
This is even worse than Detroit Hill. I think that's the name of it. At least as much as I remember. It's even worse than fucking Detroit Hill. My God.
1966, CSR finally closes the mines in Wittenum. Not because of health risks though, but due to economic reasons. Many residents leave, and the population shrinks rapidly. In 1978, the government starts to close the town and urges the remaining residents to leave for their own protection.
Finally you thought about your citizens. Fucking government.
At the same time, the health consequences for former miners and residents of Wittenum become increasingly apparent. More than 2,000 of them die from asbestos-related diseases. The town is not radioactive, like Chernobyl, but being there for too long is deadly nonetheless. Today, Western Australia has the highest recorded mesothelioma mortality rate in the world.
Shit.
Some former citizens lost almost all of their family. One slow, agonizing death after the other.
Does that make you angry?
Yes.
As it should.
Very wild.
As it should.
Very, very wild. I wouldn't have lost my husband or my parents if it hadn't been for the asbestos. I'm sorry.
My God.
But nobody deserves to die the way that they died.
Fully agreed.
It's cruel.
In the 80s, CSR begins to lose major lawsuits against former workers and residents.
For
Courts
once.
established that the company knew that asbestosis and cancer were extremely likely results of working in conditions such as those they permitted in Wittenum. CSR ends up paying millions of Australian dollars in damages.
Make them American dollars.
In December 2006, Wittenum finally loses its town status. The power grid is disconnected. The town is removed from official maps and road signs. The blue dust remains. CSR left behind 3 million tons of asbestos tailings. They are at least 40 meters high and are located in the gorges near Wittenum.
Oh, fuck.
The fibers continue to spread through wind and water. This is the WAMA, the Wittenum Asbestos Management Area. It covers over 46,000 hectares and is the largest contaminated stretch of land in the southern hemisphere.
My God.
Yet, despite all of this, some people did not want to leave the town and their homes.
What?
In 2022, the New York Times visited the last residents, an Austrian man named Mario Hartmann and Lorraine Thomas.
Australian, not Austrian, but whatever.
Both ignored the government's orders to leave. Officials had to ultimately escort Thomas out of her house. Now, the last residents are gone, and the town is being demolished.
Wow, imagine how
but
late
there are
you
still
are.
people in Pilbara. The Banjima are indigenous people who inhabited the land around Wittenum long before the mine was ever set up. The area has great cultural significance for the Banjima. This is Maitland Parker, an elder of the Banjima people. He grew up in the vicinity of Wittenum and played in the gorges as a child, with serious health consequences.
I was diagnosed with mesothelioma in 2016, and it's a miracle I'm still here. It's my will keeping me going to fight this blasted thing. A lot of my people have been affected by it, have died from it as well.
For more than 10 years, the Banjima people have urged the government to clean up the area. Already back in 1994, an official report warned the situation would only get worse and strongly recommended the asbestos tailings dumps be cleaned up or stabilized, and that the road into the gorge be removed. But no action was ever taken.
You
it would
serious?
be too expensive. Disposing of all the asbestos could cost an estimated 100 to 600 million Australian dollars.
Spend the fucking money. Your life is more important than the fucking money, even if it's that much, but still. Do you not care about your own citizens that much? You care about money that much more? Fucking disgusting.
And so, yeah, it's going to cost millions, we know that, but hey, that's not our problem.
Until then, the aftermath of Wittenum continues. The blue particles continue to be taken up by the wind that blows through the ruins. The tailings continue to crumble into the once magnificent gorges, into river streams. The sharp fibers are still in the lungs of people who played on the town's playgrounds and walked its streets. A great number of these people will die a painful death.
Fucking horrible, man. It's wrong on so many levels that the company is directly involved in the deaths of so many people, and the punishment is just a tiny portion of revenue. Fucking, it's the same story as the ethyl lead thing in the America. But in America it was even worse because, well, it was not causing cancer or death. Maybe in some it did, maybe in some not. It was degrading the youth, the next generations. They were literally turning their own children into retards for money. Fucking horrible. Okay. After such a horrible video, let's go into modern times. Revisiting Concord, the biggest flop in history of media. We are going into our times, into our days, into the latest year.
In 2003, the supersonic Concorde airliner was discontinued and phased out of commercial use.
He's talking about... I think I got it.
Mainly because it was a more expensive alternative. In 2003, the supersonic Concorde airliner was discontinued and phased out of commercial use. Mainly because it was a more expensive alternative to a product the public was already satisfied with. In 2012, the Costa Concordia cruise ship crashed into the island of Giglio as a result of poor decision-making on the part of the ship's captain. In the 1975 film Monty Python and the Holy Grail, Lancelot Squire is hit and injured by a random arrow in a moment of truly horrible luck. His name was...
Brave, brave Concorde!
In 2000...
Concorde is a cursed name. Okay, I get it. I get it now.
In 2009, the HBO television series Flight of the Conchords was cancelled after just 2 seasons because the creators were overwhelmed by the pressure being put on them and no longer enjoyed making the show. You know what all these things have in common? None of them failed in as many ways as Concorde the video game. Concorde was a more expensive...
Yet all of them share the same name, at least the same word in it.
Alternative to a superior free product that was plagued by poor decision-making by leadership, bad luck, and massive pressure from Sony, who spent nearly $500 million on the game just to refund the estimated $1 million they got back in return. Exactly 1 year ago today, Concorde was taken offline permanently.
The world's most expensive punchline. It sure is.
Hey guys, Command B coming at you from the editing room. As some of you might know, Concorde went offline on September 6th, and today is not that day.
Yeah.
Apologies for that. I got kind of sidetracked playing this super highly anticipated indie game that came out recently.
Fully justified.
I'm of course talking about Harold Halibut, but hey, I hope...
Okay, not justified anymore. Fuck you.
Hope the wait was worth it. Really tried to make the editing better than ever in this one. So yeah, please enjoy.
Officially cementing the game as arguably the biggest flop in the history of media, games or otherwise. So come with me as we do a little digital grave digging, revisiting the story of Concord in the hopes that we may learn something from its short, troubled existence. Our story begins with Harold Ryan. You may not know that name, but you certainly know the things he's worked on. See, he was the CEO and chairman of Bungie back in the good old days.
Seriously?
He presided over the release of a little-known title called Halo, and continued on that hot streak through the release of Destiny.
Seriously? The man who created these bangers, objectively bangers, Halo, the original trilogy. Fuck. Sorry. The Halo of the Bungie times, it was perfect. By the way, recently, a week ago, me and Dark played Halo 2 and 3 together. It was the best time ever. We are also planning to play Reach 2, which I think is a Bungie game, right? Right. So yeah, join us on our streams every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and Saturday maybe. Fridays are only reaction, so if you want to see games, Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday, maybe. And please go on Twitch, okay? Because I need to hit that affiliate. I need only 3 people watching my stream on average, relatively active people. Please do that. Do me a favor, please. Please, for Christmas. Love you.
Which won Game of the Year. But in 2016, Harold started to see industry trends materialize that he didn't quite like. He saw increased corporatization and poor working conditions eating away at the game industry culture he had grown to love. The one where the real exotic weapon engrams were the friends we made along the way. So this sparked an idea. He decided to leave Bungie and strike out on his own, with the aim of creating a new type of game company. A game company that combined new school resources and funding with old school people-first culture. Sounds pretty darn good. In 2018, Ryan announces the formation of Probably Monsters, which would serve as an incubator for sub-studios, like a dutiful emperor penguin sitting on the eggs that would hatch into gaming's next great IPs. Most excitingly, 2 of those eggs had already been laid in the form of Cauldron and Firewalk Studios. The idea was each studio would have a specific title or genre they specialize in, ensuring only the best and brightest experts would be working on each team. It was an unsinkable ship. I mean, a decent plan. One of those studios, Firewalk, would specialize in shooters, and they were reportedly making one of the 5v5 sci-fi variety. Good stuff.
Wow.
The outfit was headed by Ryan Ellis, former Bungie creative director, and Tony Hsu, former senior vice president of Destiny at Activision.
I love you.
You got the wrong fucking number.
I don't know how you can be senior vice president of a single game, but hey, it sounds impressive. So impressive, in fact, that Sony entered an exclusive publishing deal with Firewalk in 2021. Probably Monsters then received $250 million in Series A funding in 2022. But wait, there's more! In 2023, Sony doubled down and bought Firewalk outright, fully committing to chasing the live service Dragon.
For how much, by the way?
CEO Jim Ryan said he was, quote, confident the studio's upcoming project will be a robust addition to PlayStation Studios' portfolio. Clearly, whatever was being shown off behind the scenes was looking real good. Or was it? Well, according to an inside source within the dev team who spoke to Colin Moriarty, the self-proclaimed godfather of PlayStation podcasts, that's not exactly true. Apparently, when the game was shown to Sony leadership, it was in rough shape. Key features like the new player experience and monetization plan were not even started, and that was 5 years and $200 million into development. Should have probably been a red flag, right? Well, according to Moriarty, senior leadership at Sony, specifically co-CEO Herman Hulst, loved the concept of Concord so much that he decided they would throw whatever resources necessary at it to get it across the finish line.
What the guy said, it will be the next Star Wars franchise. Oh, what a fool. And the guy is still CEO, right? Or not? Not anymore. I hope he's not.
To the tune of an additional $200 million. It seemed to him that the team was simply too talented to fail, and with more firepower, Concord was going to be the live service smash hit Sony was looking for. Internally, it was referred to as the future of PlayStation, with Star Wars-like potential. The idea was to make Concord not just a hit game, but a hit IP across multiple forms of media, beginning with an episode in Amazon's video game-oriented anthology series Secret Level, set to release in December 2024. But so
which is, by the way, the stupidest, the dumbest decision ever. Like, that this series was supposed to show all the most iconic games ever made, like God of War, Halo, what else? There was more, like, my brain is empty, but you got the point. And PlayStation is putting fucking Concord into it. Concord that did not even came out. Like, it would make more sense to put in The Last of Us than Concord. Just saying. Or even Uncharted. Even Uncharted is more iconic than Concord. Doesn't make any sense at all.
Sony was playing 4D chess here and knew that for Concord's millions of fans, it wouldn't be enough. So the team started cooking up very stylish, very expensive cinematics that would drop weekly alongside the game. So despite the game's extremely underbaked state, the red carpet treatment the team was getting from Sony ensured the vibes were good. Maybe a little too good.
Too good.
Colin's inside source also cited a culture of toxic positivity, where criticism of the game's design choices was implicitly discouraged in an effort to lift morale.
By the way, one of the senior designers that was in that Farwalk studio, that was a trans mutant of some sorts. That demanded that everyone will call it Professor. Can you fucking imagine that?
Which obviously achieved the opposite when people felt their voices weren't being heard. Of course, take these things with a grain of salt. It's all based on the testimony of one developer. But given how things turned out for Concord, it's very hard to imagine the team was unanimously in support of the game's direction.
By the way, later some of those people showed up on Twitter. And they were as retarded as you can fucking imagine.
Another example of good vibes gone wrong is the curious case of the Professor, also known
I just called it
as Lisa Brown. Lisa was Concord's principal game designer, who identified as a professor despite not having any actual credentials in education. Lisa insisted on being called the Professor at all times, and anyone who refused would be reported to HR and written up.
Which is, once again, fucking retarded. Like, what the fuck? You're not even clarified to be called a doctor, and you want to be called a professor? Sorry, buddy, can you go to that room that's labeled "Go fuck yourself"?
Wouldn't want to have to talk to human resources.
Hello. Meetings were supposedly even reworked to accommodate, turning design syncs with Lisa into design masterclasses with the Professor.
Seriously?
This was naturally seen as ridiculous by other members of the team, but they chose to keep their mouths shut rather than go through the hassle of speaking up.
Wow.
So the show went on, and in May 2023, it was time to reveal the game to the public for the very first time. What would they show? A short lore piece to add investment in the characters? A shootout with space pirates, perhaps?
Fucking nothing.
That's right, for an epic 5v5 sci-fi hero shooter, we got an empty ship and a deliciously jiggly burger.
Oh
the
my.
bold choice to show more cooking utensils than weapons left viewers in a state of apathetic confusion, failing to arouse any excitement at all. Well, maybe someone was aroused by the burger, but overall as a reveal trailer, it went rather poorly.
Wait. Oh, fuck, sorry.
Someone was aroused by the burger, but overall as a...
They put their entire marketing budget on that burger. I love when we get the reveal trailer that shows nothing.
reveal trailer, it went rather poorly, sitting at 350,000 views at the time of recording. Not exactly future of PlayStation or Star Wars-like numbers. But no need to worry, the game still had over a year before release, and things would surely come together. Plus, the public had yet to see Concord's crown jewel, the characters. Of course, characters and character designs are the central component of any hero shooter. Just look at Overwatch, which was the gold standard for the genre throughout Concord's entire development cycle.
Just don't look at the Overwatch videos, if you know what I mean.
One memorable design after another connected players to the IP instantly, and now Overwatch fan art is almost bigger than the game itself. Concord knew this, so the next time they faced the public, the characters were going to be front and center. Fast forward a year, and the gang at Firewalk was ready for their close-up, with Concord slated to be the big announcement at Sony's 2024 State of Play. This trailer wasn't just the debut for the characters, it was also a taste of what players could expect going forward with the weekly cinematics. To its credit, the cinematic looked very, very impressive, clearly the product of industry-leading CG artists, but even then, the trailer released to uproarious apathy. For starters, the quippy Marvel-style dialogue would have gone great if the game had released in 2016 when it began development, but by 2024 it had gone
Whoever wrote this dialogue had a promising form. Oh my tank. Whoever wrote this dialogue has a promising future as a drive-thru employee. Fully agreed.
Gone fully out of style. But what about the characters? Surely people liked the characters. Star-Lord and the gang from Timu, janitors of the galaxy. Finally, characters that are immune to Rule 34.
This one is accurate, by the way, because that's the reality. When Concord came out, for weeks there was no art of it on the R34 website. Don't not ask me how I know this. You just do not need to know.
Captain Hot Sauce and Guardians of the Fallacy. This ain't Guardians of the Galaxy, that's Protectors of the Cosmos. To make matters worse, keen viewers picked up on a prompt to pre-order on the end card, meaning...
Alright, about the characters. Also, one of them, sorry for the moment, the black-skinned woman with those enormous hair balls on the side of her head. The actor of that woman, who is, I think, also a trans person, I'm not sure about it. Yeah, that human turned out kinda tight while trying to kill a police officer. Yeah, that happened. Sorry.
The game would not be free to play. Sony confirmed this in a subsequent blog post, setting the price tag at $40.
Which is an immediate death on this spot, because Marvel Rivals was coming out at the exact same time, and it's free to play. I think Marvel Rivals came out a little later or before, I do not remember, to be honest.
Not so good, considering all of the leading genre competitors were free. I have no evidence to support this, but to me this felt like Sony reading the writing on the wall and choosing to pivot to a paid product late in development, essentially betting that the average player wouldn't stick around long enough to spend $40 on in-game goodies. The price point itself also reflects this lack of confidence, since surely people would shell out the $70 on the future of PlayStation. But hold on a second, there was still one more trick up Firewalk's sleeve. Sure, things weren't trending in the right direction, but remember, nobody's actually played the game or seen its gameplay yet. And after all, this is a video game we're talking about. Not a movie or a TV show, a goddamn game where the player's experience is king. So what if the character designs aren't hitting? Fine, we'll rework those. The writing style is annoying. So what if the character designs aren't hitting? Fine, we'll rework those.
This one is looking fine. Like, looking good. This one is likable.
The writing style is annoying and stale? No problem, just boot up Microsoft Word and write something different. But the gameplay,
good luck.
That's the core of this thing, and that's the part we won't change for anyone. Let's put Concord in the players' hands and let the gameplay do the talking. So that's what they did. Firewalk announced a closed beta weekend for players who pre-ordered, followed by an open beta the next weekend where anyone could hop in to try Concord for free.
Here's the freak.
For
yeah, this one. By the way, I do not remember the exact lore of this speech, but the lore of this speech was so woke written. It was an Sweet Baby Ink child, for sure.
Reference, the Overwatch beta saw 10 million total players. The Valorant beta averaged 3 million daily players. At this point, Sony and Firewalk were probably tempering their expectations and would have been okay with a couple million registrations and a few 100,000 daily players. Not record-breaking figures, but enough to ensure the game would have a stable player base for years to come.
Alright.
Lad, it's just an ordinary crabby. Oh my goodness!
That is abysmally low. No. Good vibes only. We still have the open beta. The closed one was just for people who pre-ordered. Who pre-orders games anyway? Come on, anyone can hop in now.
Let's up those numbers!
Okay, good one.
The open beta reached a still dismal 2,400 players on Steam, and from here both Sony and Firewalk go notably silent. And can you blame them? They're in an unsalvageable position. They're already $400 million in the hole, and the longer they go notably silent. And can you Steam and
I still remember these days. Those numbers are lower than the fucking Gollum game. Literally.
From here, both Sony and Firewalk go notably silent. And can you blame them? They're in an unsalvageable position. They're already $400 million in the hole, and the longer they work on the game, the bigger that number will get, meaning the game would need to be an even bigger success to break even, or dare I say it, turn a profit. Worse, for the game to be a success, they would basically need to start over, because nothing they were doing seemed to be working. The other option, of course, was to just sit tight, hope for the best, and stick with the original release date, which at this point was just over a month away. They chose option B. 1 month later, on August 23rd, 2024, Concord launched. Despite middling reviews from critics, player numbers were low.
Middling review from who? That was IGN. Yeah, 7 out of 10 this, 7 out of 10 that. And somehow fucking Sonic Cross Worlds, Sonic Racing Cross Worlds somehow scored a fucking 9 over the Mario Kart. That's the one exception where, wow, something pretty decent from IGN, but whatever. 7 this, 7 that, 5 on fucking Expedition, I think. Like, what are we talking about, man? What are we talking about?
Low, even by the pitiful standards set by the game's own betas. I'm talking James Cameron at the bottom of the ocean low.
Whoa.
The game's all-time peak player count sits, and will forever sit, at 697 players on Steam. Less than a third of the turnout for the open beta. Okay. Games that are considered monumental flops, like this year's Mind's Eye or 2023's The Day Before, blow Concord out of the water by this metric. All told, the game reportedly sold 25,000 copies across all platforms, making a grand total of $1 million in sales. Just 11 days later, Sony announced Concord was being permanently taken offline and that full refunds would be issued to all purchasers, reducing that $1 million to 0. 3 days after that, Concord was no longer playable, swiftly removed from existence by the very company that had so zealously believed in it. This is more or less the end of Concord's story, but there were some notable things that happened in the aftermath that are worth mentioning. One dev had a public meltdown on Twitter and called critics of the game talentless freaks.
Alright, I remember this shit. This something. Talentless freaks. What came out after Concord? Not so much later. Oh yeah, Deadlock by Valve. How many people are playing it on the beta test? I don't think the game is released yet, by the way. I need to look it up later, but Talentless Freaks. Yeah.
Herman Hulst stepped down as co-CEO of Sony Interactive Publishing and has been demoted to the lowly role of head of PlayStation Studios. Game director Ryan Ellis put out a statement saying he was exploring options to better reach the players, which some interpreted as Firewalk taking Concord's assets and using them to create a completely different game, like a single-player RPG or something. But then that discussion was brought to a close when Firewalk was permanently shuttered 6 weeks later. For those wondering, the professor now works at EA. So what do we make of all this? What do we...
And the professor will be fired in less than a week because the studio is now owned, the company is now owned by fucking Saudi Arabia, who will kick the professor's ass out immediately. Yeah.
Takeaway. Because the weird thing is, Concord is a competently made video game, much more so than the other titles it was beaten by in terms of player count. It doesn't have any game-breaking bugs or exploits or performance issues, the set pieces look good enough, and there's plenty of content between the 16 characters and 12 maps. So what is it then? I'm sure this question has kept Sony executives up through many sleepless nights, but luckily I'm here to tuck them in and make it all make sense.
Thank
you. To me, this all boils down to the hero shooter genre.
Me too.
Let's really stop and key in on that first word, hero. More than any other genre in gaming, hero shooters live and die by the quality of their character designs. Overwatch understood that and managed to create a cast of visually distinct, memorable characters that resonated with players on day one, which is honestly incredibly impressive. Marvel Rivals smartly leveraged the IP's pre-existing cast, guaranteeing strong attachment to the game's roster. Concord, on the other hand, had no such luck. They didn't just drop the ball, they loaded the ball into a cannon and shot it off Mount Everest.
Yeah, all of those characters looked fucking ugly. Only the dude looked like half decent, but everybody else just they were ugly and they were boring. Plus their lore. Their lore is fucking stupid.
Turns out those characters everyone was roasting in the CG trailer were actually the best designs Concord had to offer. To create successful characters, the best designs Concord had to offer.
This woman looks half decent, but yeah, no personality, sadly.
To create successful characters for this kind of game, there are two things you need to nail. First off, the characters need to look cool, plain and simple. It's hard to quantify, but you know it when you see it. Genji looks cool, De Beers does not. Winter Soldier looks cool, Roka does not. You know when you're a kid and you really want to wear a Halloween costume, but it's clearly designed for kids a couple years older than you, so the mask or helmet is gigantic? That's what Roka here makes me think of. In fact, maybe someone in the comments can back me up here, but that's what all of Concord's characters...
I know, she looked better in the CGI trailer. Why the fuck... What the hell? Those are called eye shades, right? Why the fuck do they look so bad? This is fucking up the entire design.
Characters make me think of people in costumes, almost as if this is the crappy cosplay version of a serviceable design we don't get to see. Now you might be wondering, why do the characters need to look cool? We're just shooting each other, Command B. This isn't the Met Gala. It's because people connect with aspirational figures in media. We gravitate towards characters who represent exaggerations of our best qualities. Qualities like strength and bravery and courage. I know I'll never be able to look like Captain America or do the things he can, so it's exciting to embody him in a game for a couple hours. It's fun to play as Spider-Man so I can experience swinging from the rooftops, or Kratos so I can experience fatherhood. What? This is what aspirational characters do for us. They put us in the shoes of people we'd want to be. Does this have the negative side effect of hypersexualizing almost every hero shooter character? Yeah, maybe. But I think all but 697 of us can agree we'd rather play as someone who is unattainably muscular or impossibly curvy than whatever's going on here. The second piece is the intuitive nature of their design as it relates to gameplay. Good designs use their visual presentation to inform the player of their abilities. Look at Pharah from Overwatch. She's got a wing-like jetpack on, and her mask has a bird-like quality. Not too far a stretch to assume she flies.
Yeah.
Now look at Jabali from Concord. Oh, wait a minute, I'm sorry, that's Cam Newton. Now look at Jabali from Concord. What does he do? Unless hanging out at coffee shops in Brooklyn is his signature ability, there's nothing about his design to clue us into his gameplay.
What is he? Some sort of sniper? This is not the right this is not the right magazine for a sniper rifle.
Turns out he's a healer, by the way, in case that's what you were
You're
thinking.
serious?
So that's a 0 out of 10 on the hero in Hero Shooter, but what about the shooter part? To save Concord, the gunplay and abilities needed to be really, really good. So good that every other hero shooter would pale in comparison. As you might have guessed, that wasn't the case. The gameplay was painfully generic, like if you went to the hero shooter factory and took one off the assembly line before it got dusted with any flavor. Even now, when I watch clips of the game, it looks so slow, to the point where it triggers that impulse in my brain that makes me think I'm looking at slowed down footage. Overall, Concord was a perfect storm of bad decision making and worse execution, leading to a product so bland that it inspired not hate, but apathy, which is
how generic you want your game? Yes.
Arguably worse. For most of us, the entire thing went by in the blink of an eye, not becoming noteworthy until it was already over. For developers, I think Concord's fate is a cautionary tale, one that will hopefully discourage big spending on future titles that don't bring any meaningful innovation to the genres they're trying to join. While Probably Monsters was able to wash their hands of the whole thing by selling off Firewalk to Sony in the business move of the century, I think their fixation on people-first culture had a role to play in the whole thing.
Yeah.
I think focusing on accountability and treating others with respect sounds great on paper, but it can turn sour quickly when immature people use that as a shield from criticism, confusing constructive feedback with personal attacks. And so ends the story of Concord. Leave a like and sub if you think I earned it. Let me know what you think.
You sure did.
Wait, why does it feel like I'm forgetting something? Oh god, the secret level episode.
Oh,
okay,
right.
Hold on, give me 30 minutes, not 30 seconds. God damn it. All right, I'll be back.
A few moments later.
Okay, I have now seen Concord's secret level episode, and honestly,
Seriously? This episode came out in the end? Fuck, thank God I did not know.
I don't have that much to say about it. The only thing of note about the episode is that we don't see a single one of the characters we've grown to love, and are instead introduced to an all-new cast, who some have theorized were the batch of characters that were going to be added to the game before it was shut down. Normally, I would say there's no way characters with such bland, unappealing designs would ever make it into a hero shooter, but this is Concord we're talking about, and honestly, they fit right in with the rest.
Honestly, he looks like an Asian man who stabbed his pinky toe, just like that.
Or at least I think they do. To be honest, the whole thing is already starting to fade from my memory. That's really the remarkable thing about Concord. It has this uncanny ability to immediately wipe itself from your mind the second you're no longer looking at it. And ultimately, I think that's really what doomed this game from the start. It isn't good enough to be memorable, but it also isn't bad enough to be memorable either.
What Gollum, exactly what I've been talking about it. Wear your fucking shoes, for fuck's sake.
It just goes by, barely making an impression of any kind. I think that's why it felt like there was no marketing behind this thing, even though it was center stage at Sony's biggest show of the year. Or why, despite being the biggest financial failure in the history of media, it already feels like Concord's story is being forgotten after just a year.
Yep.
Alright, for real this time. Like and sub if you think I earned it, and I'll catch you next time.
You did earn my like and sub. Concord was a fucking failure. Even more of a failure than the last one that crashed the gaming industry back in the like 70s or 80s. The E.T. I think it was called. Whatever. When most of your fan art is people redesigning the characters to make them look more appealing, you know you messed up badly in that department. Yeah, I remember this one too. I love how for a hot minute a lot of art YouTubers milk the hell out of the game by redesigning the characters. Yeah. Being born is a worse crime than being bad. Indeed. I may be a bad VTuber, but at least I'm not the most boring one. At least I hope I'm not boring. Am I boring to you? Am I boring to you? Please tell me. Please tell. Am I boring to you? Am I boring? Alright, we finished the absolute failure that is Concord, but that's the absolute success that is the video about Concord. Let's go to the next one and shit our pants off for laughing. Thanks to the fat electrician and... Fuck, I need to pee. I'll be back in a minute. Okay, I am back. Sorry for being away for so long. Let's fucking go.
I'm gonna be honest, I've avoided making this video for years because it's one of the biggest names in American military history, and I figured surely there's already a ton of videos on the guy, so...
By the way, forgot to say the name of the video. The real Captain America, Audie Murphy, the most decorated soldier of World War II. Honestly, I know next to nothing about the guy, so let's watch it.
Well, I'm not sure I need to make another one, but then when I look on YouTube for the videos, there's only like a couple.
Really?
Today we're talking about Audie Murphy, aka the real-life Captain America. You know, Captain America, Steve Rogers, the Marvel superhero that was originally too small to serve in the United States Army until he was given a super serum and becoming the best soldier the US military had to offer.
Damn.
That is America's ass.
Audie Murphy is pretty much the exact same thing in real life, except there was no super serum. He was originally rejected by the Marine Corps and the paratroopers because he was only 5'4", 110 pounds. He would then eventually
He was smaller than me. I am 176. I'm like, this is around 5'9", if I'm not mistaken.
Find a regular Army recruiter that was willing to round him up, saying that he was 5'5", 112 pounds, the exact cutoff for the minimum height weight requirement to join the US military. Despite his small stature and lack of super serum, he would go on to become the most decorated soldier of World War II, credited with killing approximately 240 enemies. In the process, earning himself the Medal of Honor, the Distinguished Service Cross, 2 Silver Stars that he earned in the span of 3 days, 2 Bronze Stars with V device, 2 French...
Wait, where's the Medal of Honor? Where's the big medal? Fuck. I cannot. Sorry, I am not American. I cannot recognize the Medal of Honor. Where is it? Is it this? No, this? Maybe this? What is the Medal of Honor? Is that next to the Purple Heart? Fuck, I do not know. Fuck. I'm sorry, but what the fuck is that?
Croix de Guerre and the French Legion of Honor. He would then go on to become a national icon and Hollywood movie star, where he got to portray himself in his own movie about him, and Hollywood made him tone down the story because what he actually did seemed too unrealistic. He was the inspiration for one of the greatest Americans of all time, Master Sergeant Roy Benavidez, to join the Army. In the movie Fury, Brad Pitt, the main character, is based off of Lafayette War Daddy Poole, one of the greatest American tankers of all time, but the final battle scene is actually based on the exploits of Audie Murphy. And while Captain America, the comic book character, predates Audie Murphy's military career, when he was brought back and revived in the 1950s and 60s, it's very obvious that Audie Murphy was the framework that developed that character. If you're not picking up what I'm putting down, I'm trying to tell you that you already know about Audie Murphy, whether you realize it or not, but you're about to learn a lot more right after a word from our sponsor.
Nice.
Delete me.
Mrs. Electrician.
What is that?
Is that the Smith & Wesson one?
I don't know. You told me to be here, so I'm here.
Fair enough. It's my new 1301, but now it's a write-off.
See? You see? Oh, you don't see it?
But now it's a write-off.
There! Coincidence? I think not.
All right, here's the deal. Super simple, straightforward business model. You give them... Okay.
Let's get away from that.
When a young Audie Murphy...
Our
story begins on June 20th, 1925, when a young Audie Murphy is born in Hunt County, Texas, as the 7th of 12 kids. His family...
Excuse me, how much? Fucking, those times were wild.
Is so poor, and his parents are cranking out kids so fast that...
What in the... A new subscriber? Hello there. On YouTube, I guess.
When he's originally born, they don't even have a name for him, so they just named him after the neighbor that helped with the delivery. Audie spent his childhood growing up on a cotton farm where his parents were sharecroppers, meaning they just rented the land, they didn't actually own it. And they grew up extremely poor. When Audie Murphy was in school, he ended up getting the nickname Little Britches because he would frequently outgrow his pants and they didn't really fit him. And like many other war heroes we've talked about, he became an excellent marksman at a really young age because he quite literally had to get food. He started off by killing rabbits by throwing throwing rocks at them. Then he graduated to a slingshot, and then he graduated to a .22 rifle. The first time he had ever went on a formal hunting trip with adults, the adults are like, oh, it's just, you know, a little 7-year-old kid with his .22 rifle. Go ahead, kid, go up the hill and shoot at some birds. Have fun. Audie Murphy goes up the hill out of the eyesight of the adults, and what they hear from the bottom of the hill sounds like a battle scene unfolding. And by the time they get to where Audie is, he is surrounded by dead doves, and he has exceeded the state limit in a matter of minutes. Reflecting on his marksmanship abilities later in life, he simply said, if I missed, I didn't eat, and I couldn't afford more bullets. By the time he was 13, he would drop out of school to work full-time to help out his family, which was a constant struggle because his dad was more or less an absent father that struggled with alcoholism. He would go on drinking benders and disappear for days on end. By the time he was 15, his dad would walk out the door one day and never return, leaving his mother and 12 kids to fend for themselves. Reflecting on this later in life, Audie said, and I quote, every time my old man couldn't feed the kids he had, he got himself another one. I suppose I hated him because I hate anyone who quits. Audie Murphy, on the other hand, doesn't quit. He starts working full-time for other farmers, even going and living with them, working for $1 a day. He works at the gas station. He works at the grocery store. He tries to be a radio repair guy. He does anything and everything he can at 13, 14, and 15 years old, trying to make enough money to help support his family. And then at 15 years old, his mother gets sick and she passes away. Audie continues working his ass off, doing everything he can for his family. And then at 16 years old, the movie Sergeant York, based off of the World War I superhero Alvin York, comes out in theaters, and he falls in love with this movie. He watches it twice, and he decides he wants to join the military too. So at the age of 16, he goes to the Marines. They reject him for being too small. He goes to the Army paratroopers. They reject him for being too small. He goes to the Navy. They reject him for being too small. But he just keeps trying. And eventually, right after his 17th birthday, his sister forges the paperwork, giving him permission to go off and join the military, and they fudge his height, weight, and he ends up getting in. And by this point in time, a lot of his older siblings had moved on and started families of their own, and he was kind of the oldest sibling taking care of his 5 younger siblings, and he had no option at this point but to send them off to an orphanage. But unlike his father, he's gonna come back for him, because Audie Murphy doesn't quit.
Yes! Babyface.
Audie Murphy goes off in training as rapid.
They made fun of him for his babyface, I guess. But man, having that kind of a hard life, when you have such a horrible life, basically you at this point in time, you think that you have nothing to live for, and you think that just quitting it would be the best thing you can do. But then who will take care of your little siblings? Who will take care of the family you still have? That's why you can't quit. Sorry. I got tears on my eyes for a second. Sorry.
Given the nickname Baby, Babyface, Shorty. Despite that, he crushes it, is absolutely the best shot around. While on leave one weekend, he goes out to a local carnival. They've got, you know, all the carnival games set up, and there's one of these tents that has a .22 rifle set up, and the challenge is to be able to shoot all the hearts off of a playing card, and it's the number 5. Audie Murphy walks up, and from 30 yards away with the .22, puts a bullet dead center through every heart on the number 5 playing card.
Oh, this motherfucker don't miss.
No, he's fucking good.
That motherfucker don't miss, man.
He's good.
In the heat of battle, he don't miss.
No.
The man running the booth then refuses to give Audie Murphy his grand prize of $25, which in 1942 is a ton of money. So Audie goes to his commanding officer, explains what happened. Commanding officer's pissed off, like, if my soldier's such a good shot, he won, then he won. That's all there is to it. So they go to the carnival, basically tell the carnival, like, hey, you're gonna pay our soldier his grand prize, or we're gonna make it so nobody from the military base can come to this carnival at all. So
or we will make sure that the carnival do not exist anymore. What is your choice? What is the choice of your fate?
They reluctantly give him his money, but then they ban Audie from any shooting games,
Oh,
period.
God
By
damn
late
it.
1942, he's sent to Camp Meade and then Camp Kilmer, and then by February of 1943, he boards a ship and is sent off to war. First place he winds up is in Lacarta, Italy, and while he's there, he wants to lead from the front. He wants to be in the action. He's leading a patrol, and they end up coming across 2 German forward observers. Audie ends up spotting them first because this is what he did growing up. He hunted squirrels and doves and all these other small animals. If there's a single leaf wrong on a tree or a bush, he sees it. If there's a twig that snaps snaps off in the distance, he hears it. So they start making their way towards this German position. The Germans know they've been spotted, so they turn, they stand up, and they start running. Audie drops down to one knee and shoots both of them dead on the spot. Wow. These were the first men that Audie Murphy killed in combat, and he said he didn't feel pride or shame. He just felt a weary indifference. Quote, they would have killed us if they had the chance. That's our job.
Morbid, but true. What can you do?
A couple of days later, Audie Murphy's platoon is maneuvering, and they end up getting pinned down and ambushed by a German machine gun position, and they are just pinned down, and they're pinned down, and there's absolutely nothing they can do. Eventually, morale starts breaking down. You got to realize these guys are fresh off the boat. They just got into combat, and some of these guys are freaking out, thinking they're going to die. They're a bunch of kids. A couple of dudes are sobbing in the corner, and Audie Murphy's just like, fuck it, I don't quit. I guess I'm just going to don my plot armor and handle this shit myself.
By the way, I know that Nick kinda tore his back a couple of times, like both of his back. Did he tore it again? Like, look at his left, what it's called, the under shoulder. You know what I mean? Okay, I wish he's alright. Like, I wish he's looking alright. He's looking good. He's looking like a fucking unit.
Audie Murphy gets up and rushes the machine gun position by himself, screaming at his men to follow as he breaks through the ambush and destroys the position. For this, he would get promoted to corporal, and reflecting on this later in life, he would say that retreating is the most dangerous maneuver possible. When you have no defenses, attack. That's called foreshadowing, just so we're on the same page. Shortly after this, he winds up getting malaria, gets hospitalized with a fever of 105 degrees. While he is in the hospital, his unit attacks and takes the city of Palermo. He recovers and rejoins his unit by September of 1943, just in time for Operation Avalanche, the invasion of Salerno. Fights through September, fights through October. In October, he ends up getting promoted to sergeant, both because he deserves it, but also because his unit is losing so many men. During the following months, Murphy volunteers to lead conversion and capture patrols, basically going out at night, sneaking around and capturing German soldiers, bringing them back so they can be interrogated for intel. And Audie Murphy excels at this. The men that went with him basically alluded to the fact that he had superhuman senses and could smell Germans in the dark from the type of tobacco they smoked. By January of 1944, he ends up getting hospitalized with malaria again. While he's in the hospital, his unit makes an amphibious landing into Anzio, and they are basically deadlocked on the beachhead in a stalemate. Audie Murphy recovers, comes in with reinforcements because so many of his men have been killed, and he is immediately one of the most senior members in his platoon and is promoted to staff sergeant. So Audie Murphy is now the platoon sergeant. He is the highest ranking non-commissioned officer in charge of this platoon. More or less, he's running the show. During the Battle of Anzio, part of the line that Audie and his men are on get attacked by 20 German tanks. Audie sees them coming. He's inside of this cottage. He calls for artillery fire. The artillery ends up knocking out the lead tank and repelling the rest. That night, off in the distance, Audie can hear Germans working on this tank out in the darkness. So Audie leads a patrol out. And when I say leads, I don't mean he took some guys with him. I mean he grabbed some dudes and he would advance 50 yards and then wave his men to follow him after the fact. Literally,
wise strategy, to be honest. Like, make sure it's clear first, then bring your men.
Leading from the front the entire way. He gets his men to about 100 yards from the tank, orders them to stay put as he advances by himself, gets within about 15 yards of the tank, and has 2 Molotov cocktails with him. Tries to throw them at the tank, but they fail to ignite it.
I really thought that would work.
Fuck.
From here, he's like, okay, fuck it. Runs up to the tank, climbs on top. The hatch is open. There's presumably Germans inside working on it. Drops a grenade inside of it. And then starts running back the other direction. This obviously alerts the Germans in the area. They start firing towards Audie. His men 100 yards back start returning fire. He gets a safe distance away from the tank and then fires 6 rifle grenades into the treads, completely disabling it. Then, using a ditch for cover, he makes his way back to his men and they head back to their line. For this, Audie Murphy earns the Bronze Star with V-Device, his first major medal. Fast forward May 1944, he fights in the Second Battle of Cisterna, where he earns the Combat Infantry Badge. From there, his unit goes into Rome, and it's what you see in the movies. Everybody's celebrating, throwing flowers. You know, the soldiers are here to save us from the evil Nazis. You've all seen the movies. While most of the rest of the men are partying and celebrating and relaxing with the locals, taking some time off, Audie Murphy isn't. He knows if he's going to make it back home to take care of his siblings, he's got to make it through the war first. So he spends all of his free time practicing and getting better at becoming a forward observer, the skills necessary to call in accurate artillery fire. After Rome, his unit is sent to Naples, where they stage and get ready to partake in Operation Dragoon, also referred to as the Forgotten D-Day. It is a massive amphibious landing into southern France. It was actually supposed to take place 2 months prior.
I will lower the volume because it's fucking loud.
on D-Day, but due to supplies and resources, they weren't able to. So Murphy and his platoon make this amphibious landing. They press inland. They're coming through all these pine trees, and then they come to the tree line, and there's a vineyard with a big hill on the other side. As soon as they hit this vineyard, they start taking German machine gun fire from up on top of the hill. In his squad, Audie's got one guy dead, one guy wounded. Him and the rest of the squad are pinned down, and the rest of the platoon is back in the tree line. As soon as they hunker down, the German machine gun fire stops, and then as soon as they go to try to move, the Germans start shooting at him again. After about 20 minutes, Audie Murphy says, "Fuck it," and rushes the hill by himself. He said that because the Germans had the high ground and they were manning machine guns, they had to kind of look up so they could see downward where they were shooting, and every time he would see the white of their foreheads, that's what he would fire at. He wound up killing 2 Germans. During this firefight, he runs out of carbine ammunition, so he runs back straight past his men to the wood line, grabs a light machine gun from one of the machine gunning crews, and brings it back to his previous position. From here, he gets in a machine gun fight, killing 2 more Germans and wounding a 3rd. Runs out of ammunition again. His men are providing covering fire. He runs back to the tree line, picks up a carbine and more ammunition, and goes back to his position. And this time, his best friend Lottie Tipton goes with him. They advance up the hill bounding, so Lottie Tipton's providing covering fire while Audie Murphy moves forward. Audie Murphy gets a little bit ahead. He does covering fire for Lottie Tipton to advance, and they keep doing this all the way up the hill till they make it to one of the machine gun positions. They end up destroying it with grenades. After Lottie Tipton hits the machine gun position with a grenade, they end up raising a white flag and trying to surrender. At which point, Lottie Tipton stands up to accept their surrender and is immediately shot straight through the heart. They were lying. At this point, Audie's immediately shot straight through the heart. They were lying. At this point, Audie said a demon entered his body as he rushed to the position the remaining 40 yards by himself, completely cleared it, took the German machine gun that was still operable, and rushed 2 more German machine gun nests, hip firing, destroying both of them. After completely clearing the rest of the hill by himself, he goes back to Lottie Tipton's body and just holds him and bawls, and his men said it was the only time they'd ever seen him cry.
My God.
For his actions on that day, he was credited with killing 6 Germans, wounding 2 others, and capturing 11 more, earning the Distinguished Service Cross, the second highest medal beneath the Medal of Honor.
Deserved rape and tear.
From here on out, Audie Murphy.
Fuck, the ending is very sad of this episode. To lose your best friend, which I guess he became his best friend during the military training, during the war, all of that shit. But before that even, fucking Audie Murphy was just bossing around even after getting malaria twice, which is I will need to look up what malaria is. I am an uncultured swine. I'm sorry, I do not know a lot of things, but fuck, he was never taking a break. He wasn't taking any break at all.
Murphy's after the Medal of Honor.
Now time to rip and tear.
From here on out,
let the devil out.
Audie Murphy's absolutely pissed. He goes on a complete rampage. If he wasn't already the go-to problem solver for his unit, he was now. If they're pinned down by sniper fire, pinned down by machine gun fire, there's a fucking noise in the attic, you're scared of the dark, everybody calls Audie Murphy. He shows up and he handles the issue. During this time, he gets the Purple Heart for...
Can Audie be my problem solver? I cannot hit affiliate on Twitch. I need an average of 3 average views every 4 streams on Twitch. Can Audie help me? And can you help me? Please? 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 Okay, I am done with it.
For getting blown up by a mortar, but refuses to get medevaced. From here, his unit continues to advance into France through the Vosges Mountains, and they come across the Cléry Valley. The unit's
a beautiful area, by the way. Looks beautiful, absolutely.
It continues to advance into France through the Vosges Mountains, and they come...
I wish I lived there. Really, really. What a beautiful little area.
Come across the Cléry Valley. The unit's options are pretty much climb a fucking mountain or go through the valley. Obviously, they're going through the valley. The Germans are set up in there with snipers and machine guns all over the fucking place. And every time they try to push forward into it, they end up getting repelled. And this goes on for days. So, unit's got a problem. Obviously, we're going to call up Captain America with his plot armor. Audie Murphy volunteers to lead a recon squad out there to figure out what's going on. As him and his men are getting ready to step off, Colonel Pollock...
Sorry, one moment. Fuck. My fucking hair. I love my long hair, but it can be one hell of a fucking nightmare.
Battalion commander shows up, so like his boss's boss. Audie Murphy volunteers to lead a recon squad out there to figure out what's going on. As him and his men are getting ready to step off, Colonel Pollock, the battalion commander, shows up. So like his boss's boss shows up trying to figure out what the holdup is, and he decides he's going to go out with Audie Murphy. And this is on October 2nd, 1944. So they go out, they wind up stumbling across the German machine gun position, get ambushed, everybody hits the dirt, they're pinned down. Sure enough, Audie Murphy stands up, yells at everybody else to stay down. He's going to handle this shit. Then, while the colonel, his boss's boss, is watching, he advances on the enemy machine gun position by himself while he's actively getting shot at, yet somehow not getting hit, I guess because he's a small target. Gets close enough to throw...
The size does matter, even it's small. But it is... it's matter when it's small in the right area. It's important to have it big in the other areas. For both men and women. Sorry.
Throw a grenade into the German machine gun position, and before the grenade can detonate, he switches to his carbine and shoots two, then the grenade blows up. He then hits the position with two more grenades, killing a total of 4 Germans, injuring 3, and the 8th German takes off running, and Audie Murphy drops him. He then comes walking back to his men and Colonel Pollock, carrying the German machine gun with him, which is the most gangster shit I've ever heard in my entire life. He is then awarded the Silver Star. 3 days later, October 5th, 1944. They're still making their way through this valley. They get ambushed again by German machine gun fire. The radio guy right next to Audie Murphy gets struck and killed. Audie Murphy grabs the radio, hits the dirt, and starts low crawling towards the gunfire. He can't even see where it's coming from yet. He yells back to his men to dig in as he continues low crawling forward inch by inch. He eventually ends up spotting 2 German snipers, grabs his carbine, fires, takes out both of them. From here, he's got eyes on the German positions and then uses the radio to call in mortar fire on all these different positions for over an hour by himself. During that hour, he utilized the skills that he honed back in Rome to walk the mortar fire directly into the German positions, and if the Germans tried to retreat, Audie and the men to his rear would pick him off. By the time Audie had cleared all the positions with mortar fire, 15 Germans were dead and another 35 were wounded, and Audie Murphy would get his 2nd Silver Star in the span of 3 days.
He was not fucking around.
On hearing about this, presumably Colonel Pollock calls him into his office, his tent, whatever you want to call it, and is like, so you're going to go ahead and get promoted. You're going to get commissioned. You're going to be an officer now. And Audie Murphy actually rejects the commission to officer. Remember, he dropped out of school when he was 13 years old. He's not that great at reading and writing, and officers have a huge amount of responsibility in writing down and documenting the actions of their soldiers, and he doesn't feel like he's going to do a very good job at that. So he just politely declines. He's happy to keep doing exactly what he's doing. To which Colonel Pollock replies, no, you're fucking Captain America. You're going to be a commissioned officer so you can lead these men. I'll have somebody else do the paperwork for you. Don't worry about it. So now...
Oh yeah. Now this is something we can get behind.
Audie Murphy is a lieutenant. October 26th, Audie Murphy leading from the front, per usual. He ends up getting hit by enemy sniper fire. Somehow they found a hole in the plot armor, and it strikes him directly in the ass. Audie Murphy falls...
Okay, now that's one hell of a hole in the plot armor. Okay.
To the ground is hole in the plot in the front, per usual. He ends up getting hit by enemy sniper fire. Somehow they found a hole in the plot armor, and it strikes him directly in the ass. Audie Murphy falls to the ground. His helmet rolls off next to him. He doesn't really know what's going on yet, and then all of a sudden, he's looking to see where that gunfire came from, doesn't even realize he's shot yet, and the helmet next to him gets shot by the enemy sniper. Audie Murphy sees the muzzle flash, returns fire, eliminates the enemy sniper. At this point, he realizes he's been shot. His men come running up, asking if he's okay, probably scared shitless, like, if Audie Murphy goes down, none of us stand a chance. To which Audie Murphy replies, I'll be damned, I've been shot right in the ass.
Imagine. Oh my god. Oh my god.
was a bullet, wasn't it?
Yes, sir. Bit me directly in the buttocks. They said it was $1 million wound, but the Army must keep that money because I still ain't seen a nickel out $1 million.
So Audie Murphy gets taken to the aid station. He winds up getting gangrene in this gunshot wound.
Oh,
gangrene is like dead necrotic tissue. The blood supply isn't there, and the tissue just dies and gets rotten and infected.
Oh,
and typically, if you get it
no.
on like a foot or an arm, they just have to amputate it. But because this is an ass cheek, and you can't really amputate an ass cheek, they just have to cut out the dead necrotic flesh and pump him full of penicillin.
Oh my god, this is painful.
And hope he's okay. He winds up in a French hospital. They end up cutting 5 pounds of flesh off of Audie Murphy while they're just pumping him full of penicillin. Bear in mind, the dude's only 112 pounds, and that was before he was running through the mountains in France, fighting in combat every day. So he's probably much less than that at this point. This guy doesn't have 5 pounds worth of ass to lose. That's like 5% of his body weight.
Oh my god, that... Oh my god, this scary, funny pain.
Regardless, he's in the hospital. He's flirting with all the nurses. The nurses think that he's just this adorable baby-faced little cutie. And then all the other soldiers are telling the nurses, like, ma'am, that's fucking Audie Murphy. That's like the deadliest soldier we have. And everybody's just shocked that this baby-faced 19-year-old is like the biggest badass on the planet. He actually winds up proposing to one of the nurses at this point, and despite his charm and baby face and boyish good looks and his reputation of being a complete badass, she declines.
Oh, fuck. Stand on business, chapter 4. Okay, that finishing was the funniest shit ever. Being shot in the ass cheeks. And then asking out a chick into it for a date. Vulcan plot armor.
So after 2 months of battling gangrene and flirting with nurses, Audie Murphy makes a recovery, or at least enough of a recovery to demand to be sent back out with his men. He rejoins his men on January 14th, 1945, and his unit is going to be going into the Colmar Pocket, one of the last German strongholds on the French side of the Rhine. Intel says that there are 9 German divisions there, 50,000 men. On January 20th, his unit moves in. They don't make any headway because they need tanks to be able to punch through this German line. So they wait for the tanks to show up, end up pushing in on January 25th. On January 26th, Audie Murphy and the other 2 officers in his platoon are all hit with enemy mortar fire. The other 2 officers are killed, and Audie Murphy is peppered from his waist down. Being the only surviving officer, he refuses evacuation, and he is now acting commander of the entire company. He leads his company to right outside the town of Holtzwihr, where they get ready to launch an attack. They are staged up right along this wood line. It's a wood line, a dirt road, then a big open field with the town off in the distance. From here, they start staging up, getting ready to make this attack, but they can't do it yet because they're waiting for reinforcements to show up because they need more men. And while that's going on, everybody is just freezing their ass off. It's January, they're living outside, there's snow all over the ground, dudes are getting up, walking around, just trying to stay warm. It sucks. Murphy's got his infantry, and then he also has 2 M10 tank destroyers, so that morning he starts maneuvering.
The M10s? Oh, the Wolverines. Oh, yeah, those fucks.
Them into the right position to be able to support this attack, and then more time goes on, dudes are walking around trying to stay warm, everybody's just biding their time, and by...
Wait, or the Wolverine was the M8. No, the M8, this is the short barrel. The Wolverine, the Wolverine is the M10 with the long barrel. Right, yes, right. War Thunder memories, yay!
2 o'clock, 6 German tanks come rolling up towards their position with 250 infantry Germans behind them. Murphy immediately calls for artillery, but the German artillery gets there first, striking one of the M10 tank destroyers, killing 2 crew members and setting it on fire. The other M10 tank destroyers firing at the German tanks, and it's hitting them, but it's not enough to penetrate the German armor, and the shells are just ricocheting off. At this point, he knows they're fucked. There's nothing they can do to these German tanks, so he orders all of his men to fall back into the wood line, as well as the other M10 tank tank destroyer. While everybody scrambles, Audie Murphy grabs his field telephone, runs over to the first M10 tank destroyer, the one that's on fire, climbs on top of it, pulls the dead lieutenant out of the hatch, sets him aside as he mans a 50 caliber machine gun and his field telephone on top. He begins strafing the German advance with 50 caliber machine gun fire. They're about 200 yards away, while he's also operating the field telephone, calling in for more artillery. As it's getting closer and closer, artillery asks how close they are to his position, and he famously replies, "Just hold the phone, I'll let you talk to the bastards." While that's going on, the other M10 tank destroyer, trying to back up, ends up backing up into a ditch, getting stuck with the gun at a useless angle, so now that's out too. So now it is just Murphy standing on top of a flaming M10 tank destroyer that could blow up at any minute if the fuel or the ammunition ignites.
Fuck.
I don't know, it just didn't explode. That's weird.
And Audie Murphy is up there engaging the enemy by himself for over an hour. He said the only thing that he was aware of at the time was that the smoke billowing out of the M10 he was standing on was providing a good smoke screen, and that this was the first time in 3 days that his feet were warm. Now look for the
These men did not give a fuck.
Silver linings. Now, during the course of this 60-minute battle, his M10 tank destroyer gets struck by German shells 2 more times, and somehow it still doesn't blow up, but he does take a ton of shrapnel into one of his legs.
Fuck.
Huh? I really thought that one was gonna explode.
But Audie Murphy doesn't quit, so he just keeps standing on top of a flaming tank destroyer, engaging the enemy by himself, and eventually the Germans had sent 12 infantry troops down an irrigation ditch that was near his M10, and they jumped out attempting to flank him from 10 yards away. He catches them just in time, swings the 50 cal over, and eliminates all 12 German infantry. As he
Not real combat footage, these men simply fall over, portray in combat, they are paid. Hopefully actors from the movie.
Runs out of ammunition for the 50 cal. He calls in the final artillery barrage in on his position as he jumps down off the M10 with a wounded leg and runs back into the tree line and starts reorganizing his men to launch a counterattack. As he's running away, the M10 finally blows up because the fuel or the ammunition ignited right before the artillery barrage hits.
Finally.
That's what exploded? Holy shit, that was crazy.
Okay, could you imagine being one of this guy's soldiers? You just watched him fight 250 dudes in 6 tanks by himself for a fucking hour with no commercials, and then as he runs out of ammo and jumps off the flaming tank, it blows up as he's walking towards you.
Cool guys don't look at explosions. They blow things up and then walk away.
Needless to say, everybody was pretty pumped to follow that motherfucker into battle. They launch a counterattack and push the Germans all the way back. After the Germans start retreating, he finally stops in the middle of the field for medical assistance, but still refuses to get evacuated.
How are you doing this all day?
For this, he was awarded the Medal of Honor with the citation crediting him with approximately 50 kills. However, the eyewitness accounts of the men that were there that day said that between his 50 caliber fire and the artillery strikes that he was calling in, it was in excess of 100.
God damn it. Guten Tag. Oh yeah, that will be one hell of a Guten Tag for you. Dude is the main character. I have nothing to say anymore. I have nothing to say.
In the following days in the Colmar pocket, the German lines are starting to collapse. Things are starting to move a lot faster. When they're coming up on German units, they're just starting to surrender. So as Audie Murphy and his company are advancing, they end up coming up on some Germans that are exhausted. They don't even put up a fight. They're just like, fucking, we give up. Whatever. They surrender.
Nice.
And as they're starting to, you know, take away their weapons, get everything sorted out, 3 German tanks pull out of the wood line across the field with a bunch of infantry behind them. And at this point, I can only assume Audie Murphy's like, I can't do this shit again. I already played this level. I don't want to play it again. As the tanks start advancing...
Did I just hit the restart button?
Advancing towards them, they turn onto the road. They're not spotted yet, but they're gonna be in a second. And Audie Murphy's like, if one of these Germans yells something in German, or if they see us, we're completely fucked. What do we do? And he very quickly grabs one of the Germans' helmets and puts it on his head and has his men do the same. They throw the Germans down on the ground, point their guns at him, basically saying, shut the fuck up, as they wave to the tanks as they roll down the road.
Just smile and wave, boys. Smile and wave.
Wait, what?
And luckily for the Germans, it worked. I have no idea how he would have pulled a win out of that situation, but at this point, I'm fairly confident he would have, because let's face it, the man's the main character.
What? How? How the fuck? What? This is a moment from my bad sitcom. What the hell? Time to come home, finally.
By February 8th, 1945, the Colmar pocket collapses completely, and Audie and his men are sent to Paris for some R&R. While there, Audie Murphy is informed that he will be receiving the Medal of Honor and not be going back into frontline combat because he's the most decorated soldier of World War II at this point, and they can't risk losing him. So for the rest of the war, he's going to serve as the liaison officer for the battalion. Basically, they're giving him a bullshit job trying to keep him safe and out of combat. He knows that, and he hates it the entire time. And it still does not stop him that every time he hears his company's having an issue, he takes his Jeep to the front lines under the pretenses of, I'm gonna go check the lines to investigate stuff as the liaison guy, and then he goes out there and leads his men in combat anyways. And that's pretty much what goes on until World War II comes to an end. After that, he had a big ceremony where he was formally awarded the Medal of Honor. From there, he goes back home and there is an enormous parade. He's a national celebrity. He's on the cover of Time magazine. Everybody knows who he is. He is the most decorated man of World War II. And to be completely honest, he doesn't really care for it. He doesn't think that he's anything special. He doesn't like being a star. He doesn't like all the fame. He just kind of wants to be a normal guy. And it's partially just because of who he
fully understandable, to be honest.
Is as a person, but also because for the rest of his life, he suffers from survivor's guilt and severe PTSD. Despite that, when he's offered the opportunity to act in Hollywood in a bunch of Western movies and to star in his own film about his exploits in World War II, he takes the job not because he wants to be rich and famous, but because he needs the money to take care of his siblings. And when he gets that first big check, the first thing he does is he goes to his older sister, who is now a married woman with kids of her own, and says, look, I will buy you and your husband this big, nice house if you're willing to adopt our 5 younger siblings and raise them as your own. And she takes him up on that offer, and he does exactly that.
Great sister. W sister.
From here, Audie continues to get more rich and more famous. He's in all kinds of movies. His movie To Hell and Back was one of the most popular movies of its time, and despite that, he still suffers from this survival guilt and PTSD. It ends up ruining his marriage. He has to take pills just so he can sleep at night. He sleeps with a gun under his pillow. It leads to a gambling addiction. It's rough, and at this point in time, nobody really recognized PTSD, and there wasn't much help, if any help, that he could get. But Audie Murphy doesn't quit, so he did what is, in my opinion, the coolest and potentially the bravest thing that he did in his entire life. He spoke out about it, and he told the truth. He spoke out about the fact that he struggled with PTSD and criticized the government for not providing veterans that came back home with help after the war. Which I can't stress to you enough is incredible, because he easily could have said, nope, never lost an ounce of sleep in my entire life. I'm the biggest badass on the planet. Everybody should look up to me. I'm literally Captain America. But he didn't.
He is a real man.
Told the truth. He told everybody what his struggles were, and in doing so, he not only brought attention to the fact that this is an issue that needs to get worked on, but he also made it okay for everybody else to talk about it. Because now, if Audie Murphy, the most decorated man of World War II, one of the biggest badasses of all time, can come out and say, hey, I struggle with this too, there's no shame in anybody else saying that they struggle with it also.
That's right.
Unfortunately, Audie Murphy would pass away fairly young at the age of 46 in 1971. The pilot of the plane that he was on was not qualified to be flying that particular aircraft, and he was also not qualified to be flying in the inclement weather that they were experiencing that day on May 28th. And because of that, the plane would ultimately crash, killing everyone on board. Audie Murphy's death was sudden and tragic, and due to his fame and notoriety in the world, a lot of people speculated with conspiracy theories that he was either assassinated by the mob because later in life he was a confidential FBI informant due to his Hollywood connections and his connections related to his gambling addiction. Other people also speculated that he was silenced by the United States government for being one of the first big people to speak out about PTSD.
Fucking conspiracy theorists. It's easy to hate those kind of people.
I don't necessarily believe either of those, but they were popular conspiracy theories at the time, and if you research into it, you'll find them. Audie Murphy is buried in Arlington National Cemetery, and he's the second most visited grave there behind JFK. Allegedly, Audie Murphy's family was given the opportunity to have Audie buried with a monument or a tomb in Arlington National Cemetery near the tomb of the unknown soldier, but they declined. They were then offered for him to have a gold leaf inlay in his tombstone because he was a Medal of Honor recipient, which they also declined. Because his family knew that Audie Murphy would have wanted a normal grave, just like everybody else. Thank you for watching. Best way to support the channel is go buy some merch over at thefatelectrician.com. Quack bang.
Out. What about this Abaddon song, by the way?
All that without a super serum, being 5'4", 110 pounds, okay? This is why you need to be nice to everybody, because you have no idea who you're fucking with.
That's right. Oh, a little snippet in the end. Let's watch.
We had a home. He asked us, he said,
Audie Murphy, Audie Murphy's sister. Audie L. Murphy, the family man. Side B Production,
kids,
LLC.
y'all like you home? We said, oh, yeah, you know. And he said, well, I told you that I was going to the Army, and if I came back, I'd buy a home, and you'd have a home. That, of course, tickled us to death. He just uplifted our family. He took care of us. For somebody raised poor and meek and mild, he never did lose sight of the good things that happened to us. He was just a good, all-around good old country boy.
A real country boy.
That makes me proud.
It would make anyone proud. A real country boy. Yeah, that he's a real one. He's a real one. Oh my god, today was one hell of a stream. I was yapping a shit ton today. What the fuck, I was yapping for like over half an hour on one video, one 5-minute video. What the hell? But it was a great stream overall. I have a very great time. Thanks to everyone who was here on the stream, from what was her name? Malachi, from Malachi, Shadow, James, the Indian, Rin, the Horny One, and Shell, my buddy. Thanks to everyone who was here. See you tomorrow. I will figure out what I will play tomorrow. Maybe I will continue just playing it for speed, whatever. Bye bye. Where's this stuff?